fluffy little piglet. I'm a black guy. This is how black guys sound. Let me show you how we run this. Ardy and Fist, Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we're both on a list. Ardy and Fist, Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we make the moves pissed. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Ardy and Fist, Ardy and Fist. Let us show you what you might have missed. Yeah, yeah. What? That's how we do it. Other things black guys say. Okay, now for some things black guys don't say. Nice weather we're having, so you mind if I don't rob you? Hi, Dad. Black guys never say that shit. Buttery kipper. I'm definitely a black guy. I feel drunk with power right now. We put in the oven in covenant, and it looks like we're live, fella.
And it looks like we're live. Hey, fellas.
Shit, homie. I gotta say that intro was fire, bruv. It looks like we're live. Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of Ardy and Fist. Man, mixing it up in the intro. Very, very nice. I like it.
I likes to keep it fresh, as my alter AI ego would say.
Shit, look at this ninja over here, keeping it fresh, y'all. That's what we come to expect from Ardy and the Fist.
It is looking like it might be really fun to do hip hop versions, but here's the thing: it's not. They consider themselves to be a musical people. AI just has them say the words and blows through it in like 30 seconds. There's no instrumentation. There's no lyrics that ring out. They just blast through all the lyrics. So I'm like, I need to add extra lyrics here. So that's what I decided to do, out of necessity.
Well, they do have that natural rhythm.
It do be like that, don't it?
It do be like that, Mr. Stansel. Oh, mate, how you doing, Ardy? You all right, man?
Oh, I am doing, fellas. We had a channel pump with the Brian Shapiro video.
Nice.
That's been treating the channel rather nicely.
And I also had a bit of a channel bump, actually,
Very nice.
because of the interview with Stormy Waters. It's going gangbusters, mate. It's like, mate, it's popping off. It's popping out. Like it's busting its belt and like hanging out all over the place. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
See, we have a comfortable relationship. Me and Fist we're the kind of couple where we can just sit there in silence, you know?
That's right.
You don't always have to be talking. We can all each go off and do our other things, but we all make sure we show up at the dinner table at the same time and ask each other how our day is, you know? It's a very
viewers don't actually know this, but this is actually how we prep for the show, right? We get on a voice call and we just sit there in silence, telepathically communicating.
Right.
And the show just like
we save all talking for the stream. We don't want to waste any of the talking, any of the gems.
That's right.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
A little inside baseball for you fellas.
So Dillweed is like, where is the guy that dropped all the super chats for Stormy? It's like, it's so weird. It's like,
it didn't happen quick enough. Because I was like, I don't know what you want me to like. What do we talk about? He's like, come on, just get him on.
It turned out it was a good suggestion, man.
Yes,
like, you know,
you definitely.
Yeah. No, it was a great conversation. We're gonna do another one.
I mean, how do you know, dude? The people demand it.
I know.
I mean, running a YouTube channel is like a monarchy. You have to make the decisions that are best for your kingdom. It's a digital monarchy.
That's right. Clan-based live form's going really well as well. Check out the most recent episode. We talk about, what are we talking about? Just the EU's like posting all this weird schizo stuff about conspiracies now. I swear to God, right? Like, it's like 4chan has finally infected the minds of the elites, and it's like making them crazy, man. It's I love to see it, honestly. They're like,
used to be just stuffed deep underground, and now they're rising to the surface.
I just like to see them as deranged as they made everybody else, right? Because for ages they were doing that, like, oh yes, we're gonna drive you insane, but we're gonna sit here in our nice ivory tower with our like coffee and smoked salmon and be like,
This is why it is a war of attrition. Okay. And I think this is what a lot of people were missing in the Andrew Wilson debate. By the way, if you guys watched my stream on the Andrew Wilson, Owen Schroyer debate, and then when I sent you guys over to Andrew Wilson, it went together absolutely perfectly. Very much was complimenting what I was trying to contextualize. I was assuming and guessing that him and Owen Schroyer hang out after. And that's what they did. They all went to dinner after, and him and Owen Schroyer are fine. So it's weird for people to be more angry about what Andrew said to Owen than Owen is even angry about. And then he reaffirms that his opinion, Andrew Wilson's opinion, is that, well, you know, it's a war of attrition. Okay, I understand that short-term saying and doing things feels good. Haha, like vote for the Democrats. He hates the left. This is where I come from, is hating the left. And he's like, I will never. He said it. He said it on his stream. By the way, fellas, let me know how there's a way to replay the stream. I don't know how I can actually replay the streams that he does. But he was like, rationally, I can't vote for a Democrat. And then even in the most fantastical world possible, I don't even think I could irrationally vote for a Democrat. Like, went through all these scenarios of how it would be impossible to vote for a Democrat. And we're going to see how lucky. Would you consider our Democrats right wing compared to your?
No, not really. Like, they're very much of the same mold, like in my opinion, right? The difference is more limitations on the ground. Like, so for instance, like, I know the Eurocucks love to like bitch about how Americans have all those guns. It didn't help them during COVID. Yeah, but like there's a bunch of policies that, you know, I think there is like a natural limit to the amount of shit that you can get away with. That's why, right, in all these like places like, you know, San Francisco and stuff, they ban the guns first, right? Because you just, you know, they would feel unsafe, right, to coin a phrase, if they were going to like really sort of roger the population with full force, you know. So yeah, I think if that was removed, they would do all of the crap that they're doing in the UK, which I love, by the way, right? I have to say that. It's awesome. I love living in multiculturalism, not being able to defend myself, right? Like, you know, all the diversity around me, the many different languages. It's a delight. It's a treat. It's like living in the Tower of Babel every single day. You know,
well, the best part is, if you guys don't like it, you know, unfortunately, you guys voted for mass migration, so you just got to wait, kind of grit your teeth and bear it. You know, you guys voted for young white girls to be devastated, through struggles by Muzzy men for 40 years. Now, all you have to do is just make a really compelling case, really compelling argument, and vote against it, and then democracy thrives again. I don't know why you don't just do that.
I know. It's weird. You know, except for that time that everyone voted against it, and that other time, and that other time, and that other time that people voted against it. But you know, the thing you got to understand, right, is like
Did they just not do Brexit, by the way?
People, they don't know what they want, right? And thank God we have the government there, right, to like tell the people what it is that they really want. You know, to be like a break on the horrors of democracy, right? People in the UK, they just didn't know that they wanted mass immigration from Pakistan and Africa, right? And now that it's here, look at all of the beautiful things that it has brought us.
I do have one criticism of that, and I hope you don't feel me bold for saying this, but didn't they recently injure a single moo?
Two.
Exactly. Okay. Well,
it was.
Now we have to reconsider.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, mate. The UK is on fire at the moment at the shocking attack on two Mooish.
I wish this was a joke, fellas. I wish this was a joke. Okay? As bad an accelerationist as you might have those feelings in the United States, okay? I'd just like to today really put things into perspective of how bad it could actually get, okay? We're not there, and we would like to not be there. And so both political parties are definitely Zionists, okay? It's been this way for generations. And also, when you first find out about something, you think it's just starting to happen right now. It's been happening for a while. Okay. So
the hysteria is just, mate, like it's, it's the kind of tired that sleep just won't fix, mate. Right. Like honest, like bad shit has been happening to like the native British for decades. And like, oh no, multiculturalism, social cohesion. Oh, we can't say anything we can't release the names of the perpetrators. We can't release the video footage, right? It would hurt social cohesion. As soon as the Moos get attacked, right? Oh my God, like call the National Guard. I mean, we don't have a National Guard. Call the SAS, right? Like,
no, but there's like
airstrikes.
actual media coverage, and something needs to be done about this. Really, really gives the game away, dude. And before the stream, when Fist and I were telepathically communicating, he's telepathically saying to me, and here's another example. And hold on, I'm not done. Here's another example. Oh my God. Oh my God, this keeps going. It's a laundry list of people that just come out of the woodwork going, wow. Hey, Keir Starmer's like, okay, enough is enough, But
I will say, there is starting to be quite a bit of backlash because all the whites are looking around and being like, wait, like what about us, right? Like when do we get the prime minister to stand up and say like, oh, it's so important to protect the white community? Like, will it happen when like whites become a minority? Well, obviously not, right? Because whites are a minority in London, and they still haven't turned around and started talking about the white community or like the minority whites or anything like that. It's just, look, it's extermination all the way down, I'm afraid. Because that's what a lot of people are asking. They were like, well, when whites become a minority, will they suddenly get minority status? No, says the man from Westminster. You've been a bad white boy. You done did a racism and a slavery, right? Have you considered like taking your girl up to Birmingham for a bit of the old in out? Very, very convenient. No, it's really convenient, right? They were like running it through like taxi companies and takeaway food companies. So you could literally just like dial up a snuggle struggle. Very, very convenient, right? Like you got to hand it to them.
I mean, it seems to be a cultural maneuver at this point.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like if I can. So I got a whole stack on the Moo fever. Moo fever. That is just gripping the UK. It's all anyone's been talking about for like, oh my God, like 3-4 days. Now, everything else has been pushed to the side.
Right. Now, before we make the Americans unbelievably excited to have nothing to do with the UK and how absolutely fucking dog shit it is. Oh my God. Here's the thing. I realized this duality because I was just like, streaming about Andrew Wilson. I'm talking about like a US politics. And I just like peek through the blinders at the UK and I'm like, fellas, hold on. Like the issues that we're having with Trump is like, look at what he's doing in Iran. It's like, what about like domestically? It's like, yeah, well, we see videos of like blacks all the time, like acting blackity black. And it's like, I feel like Fist would love those problems. Like, would you rather a Muzzy or an American black?
Don't know. I mean,
I know, but the American blacks are atheists essentially. Okay, they don't.
Yeah,
they're not they're not graping for God. Okay, it feels a little different. I imagine. I don't know. Seems like it feels a lot different when you're doing it for the big man upstairs. Okay.
I mean, they do like the US blacks do kind of tend to keep to themselves, right? Like they do sort of self-segregate. The Muzzies are much more expansionist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you're right. The American blacks, this is my block, right? This is our block.
Yeah. This is my block.
The Muzzies think it's actually their country. A little more than a block, we would both agree.
Yeah, but the Muzzies, I think they've learned a lot from the Moos, to be perfectly frank, right? Or I don't know, maybe it's just from that part of the world, but they'll infiltrate and sidle up, and before you know it, you've got entire political parties. I gotta say, man, there's a really weird dynamic going on in the UK at the moment, right? So you got the Green Party that are like literally like the communists, like the neo-communist party. Okay,
classic,
led by a Moo. I'm pretty sure he's like reform atheist. There's like really serious like left-wing Moos. They're all like about like gay this and rainbow flag that and all that kind of other stuff.
To get along,
and they are allied with the Muslims.
Yep.
I don't.
This happens throughout history. I mean, this happened with what in Algeria? There was like Islamic socialism. I mean, there is historical precedent for the communists and Muslims teaming up in Western countries. A lot of this isn't new. It's just gayer. That's what you have to realize. The big difference is it's much gayer than ever before. If it wasn't so gay, it would be like very almost identical as to what's been happening.
It's so gay.
That's where they messed up, though. They tried to make it gay, and then the Muzzies are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then also the whites are like, "Yeah, why'd you have to make it gay?"
and tons of white women just like, "Oh, we're gonna do a heckin' wholesome Chungus utopia." You're really not. Like, I mean, oh god, they're so easily deceived. It's terrible.
Well, before we make everyone happy by you making the UK incredibly sad, let me raise our spirits even further right now, okay?
Yeah.
Recently, Nick Fuentes is, I don't know what, exonerated, dismissed. He shoved this. I don't know. I'm gonna say is that a white woman that he pushed? I can't quite tell. It's very pixelated.
Mooish.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Okay, let's see how this goes. Hi. They love doing that. They love going like, hello. I'm allowed to be here. I'm allowed to do this.
Oh my god, what are you doing? Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Oh my god.
Did you catch that? Now, I believe initially what she had given to the police was just like some sort of obscured angle from the car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, because you know how these people operate, right? So someone filming from the car so that they can be like, oh my god, like he did a heckin' violence against me. Apparently, I mean, according to Fuentes, she was trying to like sue him now, saying that she got like 6 broken ribs.
Right. Now, let's have a celebratory Nick Fuentes, because I mean, you never know when something is gonna stick. When anyone on the Fuentes does an incredible job, oddly enough, of staying out of jail. I will grant the naysayers that it's really hard to pin this guy down and get him in jail. Fair enough.
Groy Pet Groomer sent $30. Since you've leaned out so much, you should get arrested again so you can get a new mugshot.
Yeah, maybe I should. Case dismissed, bitch. Case dismissed, bitch. Yeah, what do you think about that? Oh, man. Yeah, you see that? You see the latest? I got to post something about that. Yeah, I won. Yeah, case dismissed. You thought. They thought they had me. Yeah, maybe it's time for a new mugshot. Maybe I got to beat the shit out of somebody else. Maybe I got to beat the fuck out of somebody else so I could get a new mugshot. It's time. Honestly, it's been too long. It's been too long since I kicked somebody's ass.
He's feeling really good about it.
What did we think? What do we think about the new hat?
Absolutely incredible. And I do want to show Steven Crowder making a pretty good point where Nick Fuentes isn't known for looking tough, and he threw a woman to the ground, and somehow you're such a detestable human being where it worked for him. It completely worked for him.
Fuentes has the magical power of racism. Like they don't want you to know this, right? But racism is actually a superpower, right? Like forget like protein shakes and like bulking and stuff, right? Racism is the superpower. What we really need, right, is like a new Marvel Comics, right? Racism man, right? Like, he flies through the sky with one arm outstretched.
It is a superpower for the man. They've done what they can try and do to him, and it didn't work. This is almost the story of Tommy Robinson, except for the mooish influence, right? How long has Tommy Robinson been mooed up for?
Mate, since the very beginning.
I didn't know that. I was a Gavin McInnes fan.
his organization, the EDL, the English Defense League, was originally the English and Mooish Defense League. Like if you go to the UK corporate registry, you can see it in the history. So like literally from the get-go.
Absolutely incredible. Well, let's see what we got here.
Wherever you line up with or against Nick Fuentes, put that aside for a second. Someone showed up at a guy's house because he was doxxed aggressively, and he dealt with her accordingly. It's also hilariously funny. Here's the video.
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
What are you doing?
He looks so annoyed.
Gotta come out of my house for this.
Bruh.
Did you catch that?
Maybe she did while sitting there doing nothing.
Illegally parked in front of the hydrant.
Oh my gosh. This encapsulates so much of the left, the feminist left.
Of the left, you know?
Yeah, the left. Stephen.
The left, widely known. I love how we call it cry bullying, which is just a condensed form of wailing out in pain as they strike you. We've made these new terms for things that have already existed for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
First off, the other lady is, like you said, illegally parked in front of a fire hydrant. But it's okay, because this is for the greater good. She goes up. She genuinely can't compute that someone who may be under threat on a consistent basis, Nick Fuentes, may not take too kindly to you showing up at his house. So she's surprised that she has to deal with any ramifications whatsoever.
Yes.
Falls down, is also probably surprised that she's very weak, which shouldn't be a surprise because she's a 57-year-old self-described Jewish feminist vegan activist.
And then, okay. All right. I'm always the last to find out, huh?
Mate, you need to rely upon my Mooish recognition module.
You know,
she's not surprised. The whole point was to try and get Nick to overreact so that, they could, get clicks and do a heckin' wholesome Chungus court case against him. But I guess she didn't figure that he had like that ring camera,
I need you to understand how fun it is for somebody is like clearly Mooish, and I'm like, I don't know. What do you think, fellas? Like everyone's like, yes, Ardy. Clearly, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's really hard to tell. It's the antagonist in me that really enjoys doing that.
Turns to her friend, her female friend, who clearly is not her friend. There is no loyalty. Will not have. Did you get that? I don't know. I was too busy illegally parking.
You wish there were more stairs for her to fall down.
Yeah. Just all the stairs.
I wish he lived at the top of a lighthouse.
Now, when somebody like Steven Crowder is still pro-Trump, okay, that doesn't mean he's a sellout, okay? These are people that have large audiences that are also thinking of the midterms and don't want the left to be in charge. I want people to understand this is a war of attrition in the larger picture, right? We don't have another party to go to. It's the same thing where Andrew Wilson was talking to Rex Jones last night, and he's like, so what's the alternative? And there's like never someone's just like, we'll just burn it all down. Like there's, making America First party. When is that going down?
Maybe. Okay, so look, what this really is a war of legitimacy, right? Mm-hmm. And I was talking to Stormy about this. The only way really to get some kind of mass movement to replace the government in any kind of like peaceful way, as opposed to, like Leninist and all this kind of other stuff, is for legitimacy in the current system to decline to levels that make it impossible for the government to operate, fundamentally speaking. Right now, sure, other actors are probably gonna, step in and stuff, but this is why all of the governments of the world, the EU in particular, and they're moaning and kvetching about the lack of trust in government, right? The insularities, or the Edelman Institute is calling it. Mm-hmm. They've just been lying to everyone for far too long, and now those chickens are coming home to roost because it seemed to be working great. Look, just lie to the people. It's convenient. Just lie all the time. Just lie more. and
eventually
they,
they're not getting sharper the easier things are for them. I mean, this seems like we usually focus on how this happens to the population, where weak men create hard times, but then weak elites create hard times for elites,
yes.
right?
Well, yeah, well, that not only that, once this sort of gets into the ruling class or whatever, they don't want anyone joining who is not participating in the lie. So just by definition, right? Like, they'll have sharp elbows. They won't participate in the lie. So you shut out everyone who could possibly be a corrective to this. And once the lies start unraveling as well, people start asking, well, what other crap were you lying about? And it turns out it was everything. Like, basically like every single significant event, every fundamental reason, all of this like stuff was all based on lies. Now, you got to have a certain amount, sure. But to have your starting position that governance should be run by just lying about everything is completely unsustainable in the long term.
Right, but I feel like sometimes people will think that Steven Crowder or Andrew Wilson should be saying the things that me and you are saying, right? Me and you are here on the bottom where we can say anything,
Yeah, that's right.
When there's people closer to power, I mean, he's had Don Jr. on, right? Steven Crowder has.
Right.
And so Andrew Wilson's like, do you really want to give up that like leverage that you have being close to the Trump administration? The answer would be no. It's more power than you would have otherwise. And he's still on good terms with Nick Fuentes. I just want people to understand the dynamics of these relationships a few levels further.
I mean, you remember that video he did about the black barbershop, right?
And I do believe I ate pretty well in those videos.
Yeah, right. Okay. Now, it is so obvious that Crowder really wanted to drop an N-bomb, like several N-bombs, right? Like you could see the veins.
All white guys know that look on another white guy's face.
Right? But he didn't, okay? Because it would have created like a ton of trouble, and he probably would have gotten the shit kicked out of him as well, because religion of peace or something, I guess that, I mean, I don't know, I guess you could make an argument that rising to the top of politics is always like filled with some kind of artifice and just diplomacy and fudging this and fuzzing that, particularly in a democracy. But I mean, it can go too far. It can go way too far. And when people find out, they get really pissed off.
It's things like how Andrew Wilson is saying he's an anti-Christian Zionist. And then the moment that he's like, well, I'm not just going to abandon my support for Trump until there's boots on the ground in Iran. I understand like disagreeing with that, not liking that, but then just turning around being like, oh, you're just like one of them. It's like, I think that was really, I don't know. I don't think that was a huge step to take, especially when he said if there's boots on the ground, then I would essentially have to withdraw my support for the most part. Like he even gives a clarification of here's what would change my mind, which nobody really does in a debate or an argument. And then I don't know, there's going to be a point where Crowder is not going to go hard enough at the moos, and then they're just going to go, oh, see, I mean, being too moo QE doesn't do anything. It just feels very deconstructionist and not actually building anything up in its place.
Dude, also, right? Like, remember what happened to Charlie Kirk? Wasn't that fucking long ago, man? Like, right? Sending a message like, man, I by the way, I think at the moment, Trump and the associated administrative gremlins are very seriously considering boots on the ground in Iran. But
of course they are.
Stuff is very, very, very complicated. And I think everyone intelligent around Trump is being like, don't do it. Apparently the Russians are saying like, don't do it. It'll be bad. I think if anything's going to happen though,
then you're kind of locked in at that point. That's making
it'll be after the midterms. If anything's going to happen, it'll be after the midterms, right? When he doesn't really have to like worry about it, I guess. And then I guess he'll have like after the midterms, he'll have like what, a year and a half.
You don't sound like you're trusting the plan, Fist.
Well, what
does it
is
seem really dicey by any chance?
Right, but what is the plan exactly? Right, like I'm trusting the plan. I just think the plan is a different plan to what everyone's being told.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The issue
right?
is that you are trusting the plan, and the plan doesn't look very good. It looks very nefarious.
It's like if something doesn't make sense to you, the best thing to do is to reconfigure your understanding of events until you find a paradigm that does make sense, rather than just going like, "Oh, these people are so dumb." No, they're not. No. You're a fucking idiot. They are simply pursuing objectives different to the ones that they are telling you.
Right.
It's not that goddamn freaking hard. Like, anyway.
I don't know if I can really co-sign on that about it not being that hard. I don't know if I
It's
can.
actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
It's very obvious sometimes, But
well, it's complicated and simple at the same time, I guess.
I know, but I've always had a lot more credence and grace to larger creators. I'm like, yeah, they have like millions of yes. They're very popular. They're going to be much more careful with what they're saying. They're not going to say the shit that somebody with 10K subs can fucking say. I feel like I have to say it over and over again where it's like, yeah, obviously he's not going to blow up his own spot, but let's finish this out.
She has to fall down spiral stairs.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh no. This is very funny, the video, objectively. But even funnier is that this whole incident, once he took her phone, gave us this historic photograph. That right there.
Oh my God.
Like, you've made Nick Fuentes, he'll tell you he's not that tall. You've made him look like a badass with that. But that literally looks like a 70s horror movie. What does it say? Oh,
I want us to realize how you weren't allowed to make Nick Fuentes funny. Even a year ago, definitely not 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I want us to realize how quick things can move. So when I say it's a war of attrition, I'm also thinking of how quickly things have already been moving. And I don't want people to lose sight of that, Yeah. That's why I don't really blackpill.
Yeah, but you're also seeing a rise of a really interesting class of person, right? The people who don't seem to really care about money. I saw Asmongold was on some podcast interview and someone was asking him about like how much he makes. It was like some moo asking him about like tax law, right? And Asmongold has just insane amounts of money.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't like it, right? Like the guy's like, "Oh, you should spend $2 million a year," and Asmongold's like, "What the hell would I spend $2 million a year on?" I feel like Nick is like similar, right? Like money is not their most driving sort of thing. I mean, maybe in the case of like Fuentes, I mean, I'm sure you could find something to leverage in.
No, but crazily enough, on the left with Hassan Piker, money's definitely a driver. Isn't that funny? On the right, not so much, but on the left, they like are obsessed with money and clout and status.
Of course. I mean, if you're not religious, like if you're not religious, if you're a materialist, then all you're in for is like all of the pleasures that you can get right now while you're alive.
I don't even know how religious Asmongold is, though.
I don't know.
I think there's something about being right wing, and like there's a level of being right wing where you're capable of being like content.
Yeah,
there's not a lot of degeneracy and hedonism on people that are actually right. Like, for example, it seems like Asmongold's had a very political awakening. He's never been very high consuming, spending a lot of money, promiscuous, anything like that. None of those stories come out. He's really fine, just easily content sitting there. So even like as a precursor to being a Christian, it seems like the concept of being right wing, even for an atheist, is being able to just appreciate gratitude. I would say, even for a right wing atheist.
I mean,
what they have.
The chat is saying that Asmongold is not religious. I don't know. I don't really watch his stuff. I just see sort of
shocking. You just shocked everyone by saying that.
But it is a weird, like almost like a rebellion against sort of the current system to just not be into money, right? Like every like what you don't want money? Here's $1 million. Don't you want like what am I going to do with $1 million? Right? Like, I don't know. I think it might be a defense mechanism against like just the excessive financialization of everything.
Yes, and that's the concept of goy slop.
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, yeah, do you want to go to IKEA and buy furniture that's going to last 2 years when it used to last fucking 50 years or 100 years? You just see the degradation of quality of a lot of materials with the price increasing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want to do some soupies?
Yeah, let's do some soupies. We got into quite an interesting conversation now. I didn't realize there'd be quite such a deep vein to mine. Okay, so
people like that, you know?
I do like that. New GM for $20. Hey Nuji, how you doing, mate?
Nuji.
At work I got assigned to Firewatch, so I had to sit around and watch other guys work. I've never felt more elvish, and I've been on all 3 Isaiah streams. Also, you should make Ardy be Aaron's practice.
Brown? I don't know. The fellows are wild, dude. They're a wild bunch of guys.
I think that might be Indian boy. I was on Clan-Based Lifeform. I was suggesting that Aaron needs to get like a small Indian boy to torment, so we can like really internalize the kind of abuse stuff that we want as part of the Zebu corporate. It's a whole running joke. You'd have to watch the podcast to get it. Thank you very, very much.
I also like to listen to someone else be subjected to your introductions that they have to go along with. They can't just no sell you. They can't just tell you no. I love Aaron's voice where he's like, "What?" I remember those days, the early days of doing the show with this, where he's saying something and you're trying to go along with it. Then he hits you with something. I forget exactly what you said, but Aaron went, "What?" Sounded legitimately alarmed of something he had to go sign on.
It's what I do, baby. It's what I do. Flavius Acanacius for $10. Thank you very much, mate. Shabbat Shalom. Yakub came home with milk and cigarettes.
Oh, there he is.
Shabbat Shalom. Daddy's home.
You're darn tootin'. You're tootin', darn it.
He brought back the milk and cigarettes. Oh, yeah. Rich for $5. Thank you very much. If Crowder can lay off trying to make the Marxist right a thing, I'll be happy. Seriously, man, you're not James Lindsay. You guys rock, though.
Did you know that about Steven Crowder? Did you know that he said the Marxist right? Did you know he said that? I have intentionally left it out of videos, but of course people have watched what Steven Crowder has said, and he did say Marxist right, and I'm still trying to ignore it. I don't know what he means by it. Now I understand people on Epstein's Island where they're like, I'm not looking over there. I'm looking straight in front of me. We're going to ignore that. I don't know what's happening. I'm just going to keep continuing, moving forward with what I'm doing. I don't want to know. Please, Crowder, don't. Please, for the love of God. So far, it's yellow light at best so far.
I mean, does he mean the Nazbols? Because it's not that many of them. They're tiny. The Nazi Bolsheviks.
I'm not speculating. I've learned when it comes to the woke right or Marxist right, there's no need to speculate because it reveals itself rather quickly.
Christos, 8 months membership. Thank you very much, mate. Voting for any party where live is against my best interest. I feel like that got mangled. But yes.
I support
Thanks,
that.
mate. New GM for $2. Pundits that still support Trump for the midterms are ceding initiative to the neocons. When we inevitably lose them, we should already be pinning the loss on the neocons, just like they are doing to us. Yes, well, that's what we've been trying to do, actually.
Yes.
That is it's true. Right, it's totally true.
Yeah, it's not a strategy. It's continuing to tell the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you be a neocon and advocate for white people? I would love to know the answer to that.
Theodore McCarthy for $10. If advancing the causes you believe in would cost you your influence with those in power, then you have no real influence with those in power. They are just using you to advance their agenda. Now, see, that's a very, very solid take there. From Theodore. Precisely.
Right, but that is true. Well, now Andrew Wilson has put himself in a position where he drew a line, right? So that's why I still like Andrew Wilson as a commentator so much, because he drew a line in the sand. When do you ever hear that? Okay, well, if this happens, then I'm going to be forced to really go back on what I'm saying. And it's like, okay, well, it looks like that's going to happen. So I mean, then I don't know what the big deal is.
if they do boots on the ground in Iran, I mean, you want to hear my schizo theory on how this is going to play out?
Oh, of course. There's no better time to tell me.
So the FIFA championships are in New Jersey in this month, May. I think it's like mid-May, right? And listen to this. They just announced that a whole bunch of these advanced crop dusting drones got stolen. Okay, so you could fly them basically anywhere and like spray almost anything over stuff. Just saying, right? Like, you know, if they would need they'd need like a 911 times 100 kind of thing is all I'm saying, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I got this for $20. Very much, mate. Sorry, I missed a few streams, boys. That's okay, mate. I was forced to be a good employee and peddle knickknacks to the cattle on a business trip. How about we rewind a couple of weeks and take it from the top where I left off? Well, we can't do that, Anon, but bless you for your knickknackery.
I know. I love the fella's description of what they do for work. It's fucking ridiculous every time. You're so mystical.
They might be like quite useful knickknacks. I don't know. Right. Thanks, mate. Lung for $5. Yo, Ardy, it's the guy you defended against Spoon. Been watching you more and more since, and I've grown to really appreciate your perspectives, bro. Oh,
that is a very nice thing to say to me, and also a very timely thing to say to me. Where I'm getting the itch for another Spoon stream. I'll put it to you that way. It's an itch I gotta scratch. Okay. And it involves
you need a spoon to reach the place you've got to scratch.
It involves. I know. Yeah, okay. I'll keep it separate from the stream. It involves him messaging Jake Rattlesnake and going, really? And Jake Rattlesnake is like, you're acting like a fucking woman right now. What is your issue with what I said? And Spoon's like, I'm not acting like a what? And then, I don't know. It's just. It really reminds me of James Lindsay, who keeps encountering the same criticism over and over again. And then it's like Brian Shapiro. Every single time this person hears the same exact criticism coming from multiple different people, they have the same reaction every time of like, I can't. Is it feeling familiar that you're getting this criticism? I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you, though.
Right.
Very much appreciated.
Limiting Principle Podcast. Hey, Patrick, how's it going? For $5. No, if you discover your theory is wrong when facts reveal themselves, you obfuscate the facts and double down on it being narcissism.
See, this guy gets it, okay? And that's why he wears a helmet to keep himself safe.
See, that's a very solid tactic. Thank you very much, Patrick. Jam for $20.
Little jam.
I'm officially unemployed now. I'm praying for clarity of purpose and direction. Super chats won't be as big for a while. My apologies. Oh, God bless you, Jan.
Why do they do this to us? Like, sorry, like they're acting like we're whipping them, being like, "Oh, you have to. How dare you?" Like, very kind of you. Thank you. You have to apologize.
Yeah, thanks, Jam. Look, listen, man. I hope you get where you're going, dude. Like, drop some prayers.
Just so you know, he's unemployed because of you. You know that, right?
Don't say that. I cannot.
This all started because of you. Just so you know.
Double Mumble member for 6 months. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Looks like I only get one chat a month now. Gas prices got me messed up. Maybe after Donald beard Iran 100 times, I can get 2 again.
Hopefully.
Oh, dude.
Times are tough.
See, this is the big problem. Trump's messing with the American economy. We need that American economy.
I know,
especially me, right? The fucking pound is like fucking worthless now.
I know, the laugh turned into tears pretty quickly.
Oh, mate, you just gotta laugh through the tears. You know what I'm saying? TNR FNV for $10. Got blessed with buying a house today. Here is a downstream blessing. Oh, congratulations!
Whoa, hold on. There's only one type of person that could afford to buy a house in today's economy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're on the payroll of the Jews.
That is wild. Either you're 68 or you're a moo. Okay. Incredible work, fella. Incredible work.
Congratulations, mate. Grace Slayer for $5. Chinese bioweapon labs on American soil. Why don't we talk about this stuff? Shh. Grace Slayer. The precious narrative. The precious narrative.
YouTube's been headhunting people lately. Okay, come on.
I thought it's something wrong.
No way, you're good.
Well, for 10 Swiss Frankie boys. Gay son or thought daughter.
Oh, why? Why does this have to happen?
You
Why
seen
does this
that
have
going
to
around,
happen? What?
You've seen that going around, right? The quiz, whether you prefer to have a gay son or a thought daughter.
Does the answer say something about me, or can I answer it?
Yeah, you can answer it. You know,
have you answered this publicly?
No, I don't really know. Honestly, I can't.
Now, okay.
Don't make me choose. They're both horrible outcomes.
No, they're not.
You know?
I would say gay son, and I would beat him until he was straight. How about that? What do you do with thought daughter, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, final answer locked in. Did I do well? Did I pass?
Yeah. You totally passed. You totally passed.
Oh my God.
King Spectre for $10. Thank you very much, mate. I'm running out of stickers. The lack of self-awareness Brian Shapiro displayed during and after the debate with Rachel was quite the sight to see. Has he been diagnosed, or is he free-range retarded? Oh, that's a good question, mate.
Dude, Andrew Wilson was storytelling about things that weren't shown on camera. Apparently, Brian Shapiro's manager was there with her hand in her face the entire time that Brian Shapiro was on stage. Andrew Wilson said, so Brian Shapiro was offering to go out to eat with them, and Andrew Wilson paid for all the participants, all right, to go out to dinner, and all of the staff, just to not invite Brian Shapiro, saying that is the last time you'll ever be that close to my wife ever again. She just beat the absolute fucking shit out of you, and that is the last time you're going to go get access to her. And then we all ate and had a great night while he ate alone in his hotel room. Dude, it was fucking diabolical, dude. That's the muscular Christianity I support, okay, dude? You guys didn't tell me that was an option, Christians, okay? I had to find out late rather than never, but that was good.
Brother Gunther for $5. Been watching videos in 1.75 speed. Can you talk faster and restart the stream?
So
of course we can talk faster. I can always talk faster. Give me a minute. And Bobby B, member for 7 months. Thank you very much.
Like Rev.
To pressure us into accepting digital currency. And who knows what else? Economic collapse is the most likely way they accomplish this. Learn to farm. Learning to farm is always a good advice.
Definitely.
Super chats accomplished, mate.
Terrific. Fellas, I have great news, okay? I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I have the sight, okay? But apparently the topic of what exactly is white, who is white, and who isn't white, Fist put this on my radar, has been bumped up to the Supreme Court, fellas, okay? Now, if you've been following my channel for a few months, we're already ahead of the curve, okay? We're already ahead in this conversation. And if you looked at my stream last night, I'm planning on doing a stream with Fist with Calvin Robinson, who's a half-black Englishman, talking to Joel Webbin about the black problem in America. It is the fusion of race and religion, that type of conversation that is very necessary for all of us. I'll let you guys know when we're going to be doing that one. So here we go. Let's get into it.
Was terminated for quite a list of countries. I can't seem to find the particular page of the transcript where the district court goes through them all. And yes, none of those is a Nordic country, and I don't like dividing up the people of the world arbitrarily into three racial groups. But you say they're all non-white, and that's the distinguishing characteristic.
And see, now non-white, POC, they're used to saying POC like it's an affirmative identity when it's just a negative identity.
So can I just do a bit of background? This is the Supreme Court case on whether it was legal to, I think it was to revoke protected status from the Haitians and send them all back. And of course, like all the lefty judges are like, oh my God, it'd be racist, bro, to send the Haitians back, right? You know, you don't want to be racist, do you? Right? Do you have any cats or dogs or small children? Like, you know, we got a barbecue going. So yeah.
That is the distinguishing characteristic that the district court held. But I would
now, fellas, can we get a moo check on this guy? I mean, I don't want to be presumptuous. It's difficult to just find out whoever is, but he's got that. Remember that woman's face when she was interviewing Sydney Sweeney? That like fake hopeful smile.
Smugly. It's called a smugly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yes.
Smugly. Yeah.
Emphasize, Justice Alito.
But do you think that if you put Syrians, Turks, Greeks, and other people who live around the Mediterranean in a lineup, do you think you could say?
Hold on. This is. I might have to use this. He looks perfectly locker shaped. That's fucking good.
Those people are that all of them, are they all non-white?
I understand that Syrians, I think, may be classified as white for purposes of the State Department, or for under certain government programs. But again, I think race is, I think, you know, you'd have to poll the public to know what they think the race of a Syrian is. I certainly think they're not white.
Poll the American people?
Well,
do they think Syrians are white?
I wouldn't think that most would, Justice Alito.
Really?
I really don't.
How about Turks?
I honestly haven't considered what racial component I would sort Turks into.
How about Greeks?
I don't know the answer to that either.
How about Southern Italians?
Who has this guy been talking to, dude? That sounds like a really familiar conversation I had to have recently on stream in the past month, dude. This sounds real familiar.
Well, certainly 120 years ago, when we had our last wave of European immigration, Southern Italians were not considered white. So I think our concept of these things evolves over time.
How about Spaniards?
I think same answer. About 120 years ago, I don't think they were considered white.
You have a really large, a really broad definition of who's white and who's not white. As I said, I don't like dividing the people of the world into these groups.
I understand. I would say that even under this court's rationality jurisprudence, if you look at cases like Moreno, it is not necessary for us to get strict scrutiny to win here, because irrespective of how you do the classification at issue here, under those courts, under those decisions, under those precedents, bare dislike of an unpopular group is a sufficient basis to find that rational.
Whoa, we're not even making sense at that point. Oh boy, that is interesting. I would.
Yes, but Ardy, 120 years ago, fucking Italians weren't considered white. Yeah, I don't think the court case is about like what happened 120 years ago. Fucking banging oral argument there from Justice Alito. Very, very nice.
I just think it's incredible that we really seem to know what black is in the country, but we don't really seem to know what white is across the West. No, fascinating to me.
It's very, very simple, right? You separate out each minority client group, right? And then everyone who is left is white. Simple, right? It's a negative definition, right? It's like the people who do not have any kind of client group status.
That colloquially, that is what it means, right? I mean, the definition of the word is its application in society. Now, you want to try for a little bit?
Sorry, yeah, okay. So wait, let's see, what do we got now? So we got some like Fuentes stuff we didn't do.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so Hassan Piker was every time they try to like take Fuentes down, like I don't know, it just sounds funny now.
Like Nick Fuentes is a neo-Nazi, white supremacist, Holocaust denier, Holocaust enjoyer.
Holocaust
denier. Did the denier's not working, is it? So we have to escalate this. You know how the police have an escalation of force? the commies and moos have an escalation of rhetoric when one thing isn't working, and now it's denying to enjoying.
Right.
Even. And Nick Fuentes, his argument against Israel almost comes across like he's jealous. Like he's like, why do the Jews get to do this in Israel, but us Christian whites, which, also in contention with Nicolas Fuentes, but
we are jealous, you idiots. It comes off as like you're jealous the fact that like they get to have an ethno state and you don't. Yes, we're jealous. It's supposed to be our fucking country. You fucking.
Well, yeah, I mean, but there's no argument against that. It's actually the perfect argument. It's like, why can't we? Even if we didn't say we're jealous, we go, well, why can't we have what they have? And I don't know why we can't have a public debate about this. I don't know why we can't have a public debate about that topic, and I don't know why we can't ask Democrats to condemn communism. I feel like that would be a massive own and a dunk to have some of these people disavow communism, like how Donald Trump had disavowed white nationalism dozens of times. It just feels it's a reason why I don't care.
Ardy, it would hurt the ability for unlimited respawns, right? Which is,
apparently
the most cherished communist value that there is.
I'm playing the game on fucking Game Genie. I'm playing the game with one hand on the controller while my little brother is slapping me in the face. Okay, it's not fair.
He thinks he's a part of the in-group.
Right, sure.
But he wants to do that in America. And same with Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, I call him a WASP nationalist, a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant nationalist. He wants to do an Israel-style reactionary fascist country here in the United States of America for his chosen in-group. These guys all want that.
Well, Candace Owens was White Lives Matter and George Floyd deserved it and all these different version of that. All these different things that showed no care of black or brown people in America. But I'm supposed to believe in earnest that you truly care about the well-being of black and brown people overseas without there being any sort of agenda there. No, I'm sorry, it's hard for me to believe.
That's exactly my point. You're nailing it.
Wait a
minute.
minute.
Precisely what I believe.
Why is it so easy to believe that Candace Owens is a white supremacist? Hold on. Why is that easy to believe though?
But like, isn't the principal objection to the war in Iran that it's bad for America rather than like, don't worry about it, I guess, right?
As well, because it's like if you don't have a humanitarian foundation in your worldview where you want to like uplift people, then it kind of comes across as hollow. Because like Tucker Carlson every week we're hearing make really good points against very powerful people, and he's getting
in the clip economy.
Yeah, in the clip economy, right? Exactly. Like
he's big out there in the clip economy.
We see clips all the time.
Yeah, he's cooking Mike Huckabee.
Pause it.
I was like, oh my god, he's popping.
Of course, he's on a Rosenberg show. Okay, a rogue moo show.
I'm surprised any of them are talking to him.
Off, right? But then if you scratch the surface, like every other week, he's got like a white supremacist on the show, and they're talking about how like the great replacement is happening in the United States of America, and like we got to put an end to it. We got to make sure
he had Fuentes on the show, right?
Yeah, he has had Fuentes on the show. Now he says he had Fuentes on the show.
Wait. So is it happening or is it not? Like I love how he just like skates over. It's not. It's absolutely not happening. And if you like say that it's happening, we're gonna make it happen like faster or something.
So he could oppose Nick Fuentes' worldview, right? That's his argument for it. But he didn't really offer a lot of pushback to Nick Fuentes on a lot of these key issues. He's had other Holocaust revisionist historians on the show. He plays fast and loose with that stuff on purpose.
And so does Candace.
No, Candace doesn't play fast and loose. She's just fast. She's just all the way.
It's Myron Gaines, who loves the Holocaust. He has him on platforms.
I just learned who Myron was a few weeks ago.
Oh, you didn't know who Fresh and Fit was?
No. I knew him. I knew his face from yelling at some strippers.
Oh yeah.
And the world was like, "Why is this goofy yelling at strippers?"
That's what got them big.
I didn't know.
I don't know if they were strippers, bro.
Oh,
they were just like I think maybe
they were fucking whatever. Blah blah blah.
Just to cap that off really quick.
Okay.
Almost forgot. Now, of course, nobody cares about communism. This drives me crazy. I came to JQ from anti-communism, and it's a route that I definitely recommend. And from JQ, I recommend orthodoxy. So that's the path that makes the most sense to me. Okay, in the past year of my life, the more I learn. Now, you just can't. You can't call him a communist, no matter what he does. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's reading "What Is to Be Done" by Lenin, who's just talking about what is to be done. It's like a gardening book, isn't it? It's nothing that's about like violence or being revolutionary.
Actually, it's one of Lenin's more famous books written before the revolution that was like sort of popularized because everything was like in such a shit state. Unlike the state and revolution, which is a sort of very sort of hardcore political work. What is to be done was like sort of designed for the mass market audience, basically.
And so all we can do as a society is mock, right? No one's going to call out the communism. So we have Shock Collars Monthly is now put into his hand. Somebody showed the, I'll show that in a little bit. He has like a $3,500 ring on. We got the classics. We got Mein Kampf. We got How to Accept Being Gay. We've got
that's a seminal text for people in Japan.
We've got Lenin, How to Be the Biggest F Slur Possible. We got How to Stream by Asmongold. It's all that we can do. Now, what's really solid is this woman made a post here that this ring is like $4,300 that he's wearing, and it's essentially touching the Lenin book, okay? And then you should know that led it to be trending, to call this out. So that's as much as we can do in terms of being like, that's a communist, no one cares, that's a communist, which is why I moved on from the anti-communist stuff onto the Moo Q stuff, which is much more satisfying.
Okay. So we got this as well from Fuentes. I wanted to like play this because he makes a really, really good point about the left and the center right. I've sort of realized this, but I never found anyone sort of put it quite so succinctly. He's good at that.
And this is the classic, because here, I'm trying to paint a picture here for you. This is the classic construction, which is that the center right works with the far left against the far right. Every single time. The far left wages war on the far right, and the center right joins them hand in hand. So, for example, the far left wants to censor the far right. The center right won't defend us. It was like this for years. The center right, for a decade, would say, we're against cancel culture, we're against censorship. They never got censored, and they never got canceled. They remained gainfully employed, and they had all of the platforms available to them. The people that were being canceled and censored were the Proud Boys, the alt-right, Red Ice, TRS, Richard Spencer, people like myself. Did Ben Shapiro, did the people at CPAC, did the Blaze, did any of them ever stick up for us? No. No, because they were in a handshake agreement with the far left. The far left wants the far right destroyed, and that means that you get this very moderate and weak and flaccid center right that isn't really a threat. The center right allows this because then they are protected on their right flank. Whereas someone like myself would challenge Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro and say, you're not right-wing enough, you're not pure enough, you're not giving the people what they want, whereas we would ordinarily be in competition on the college campus, on the social platform. Now we are taken out of the equation, and now there's no competition. Think about it. For many years, who did Ben Shapiro have to compete with? Nobody. Because everybody else was banned from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for the better part of the last decade. It was the institutional center-right establishment right-wingers that literally cut deals.
Pause it real quick. Whenever James Lindsay talks about the left hand works with the right hand works with the left hand, it's connected to a mooish body. Yes, that is the only thing he's missing from that.
Yeah, but again, when Lindsay says like the right, he means the far right, because he, is like the kosher centrist. So like, I guess what they call like the soft right wing, you know what I mean? Like,
right. They're reasonable.
Yeah, they're reasonable. Like, we're not going to like do anything to actually stop the radical left. We'll just like slow their roll, basically, because
what if the wrong person gets in power? So they have to make sure that no one gets in power, and then the same people are in power.
I think this is because, number one, they inherited the post-World War II worldview, right? That the mustache guys were far worse than the communists, which they weren't. And number two, that, everybody is an individual. Oh, and the blank slate kind of like stuff. So these ideas are much, much more compatible, as well as atheism, are much more compatible with the far left than they are like with the actual right wing, if you think about it.
And they were the biggest ad providers. Daily Wire was the second biggest ad buyer on Facebook for like 5 years.
Oh yeah, but Daily Wire just like laid off a whole bunch of people, by the way, because their views are declining. Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah, the Daily Wire had some layoffs. Did you see that?
Yeah, yeah. F's in the chat for the Daily Wire. Bro.
Hands that hurt in the chat. Okay.
They cut deals with Google, and the deal was that as long as they didn't say anything conspiratorial about the vaccine or the pandemic, they would keep their channels. Meanwhile, everybody else got cut down for one thing or another: election denial, COVID conspiracy, anti-Semitism, white nationalism, whatever. So that was always, they were always in bed together. That's the irony. The center right will say that the far right is paid by the feds. The far right is controlled by the far left. Or they'll say something like the far left and far right are in a symbiotic relationship. They'll say that the far left funds right-wing extremism because right-wing extremism creates the impetus for far left action. In other words, if the far left funds the Ku Klux Klan and the Ku Klux Klan does a big visible public rally, then the far left is going to say, oh my gosh, the Klan is on the rise. We need to give the SPLC more money. People say the same thing about the ADL. They say that people that criticize Israel are actually friends with the ADL because the more vocal and visible and sensational the anti-Semitism is, the greater the need and the greater the funding for the ADL. And so this is a claim by the center right that the far right and the far left are in a symbiotic, mutualistic relationship. The reality is the opposite. The center right is in a mutualistic relationship with the far left. And here is the case in point. For years, the far left was putting the screws in the far right with censorship, with doxing, Antifa, showing up and disrupting the rallies.
By the way, the far right is the 1992 PaleoCon Pat Buchanan, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Using violence, calling down federal law enforcement on the far right. And the center right stood by and watched, and in many cases participated in this. It was not a few times that center right figures would pass along things that I had said or information about me to far left groups so that then they could sabotage me and basically do the dirty work of the center right. And the reason that you know this is because the center right always uses the language of the far left. When the center right wants to cancel the far right, what do they say about us? They say we're the real Nazis.
It's important for him to say center right because the message goes further than if he says moose, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he leaves out the moo and he says the center right, the message can go much further. Now, I wouldn't say that Nick Fuentes is a Zio shill or a cuck for not saying moose, right? I would go, oh, it's good that he's using language that's more commonly understood by a mass audience is how I interpret that.
We're the real Klan. We're the real white nationalists. We're really engaged in hate speech, and that's why we have to go. Sean Hannity said that on his program this week. Mark Levin said it this week. Both Hannity and Mark Levin said on their shows, Nick Fuentes needs to be censored. Sean Hannity said, I should not have a platform. Mark Levin said we should censor more hate speech. Well, who drives all of that? Who is driving hate speech legislation? Who's driving even, let's say, the monitoring of hate speech? Who's on that far right beat that's creating all of the hysteria about that? It's the far left.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. James Lindsay continues to not disappoint.
Oh my God, I can't believe this. This can't be real.
But what if the motto "One Nation Under God" is supposed to work like a kipper for the country?
That is something that you made up. That's not something that he made up. That's something that me and you would make up that he would say.
It's a totally real tweet. Look, here are the replies.
Absolutely incredible. How often, how often you really hear the word kippa too? Like, what? Like, has he been watching us? It's like you don't really hear it that often.
There's like a bill going around, the what's it called? The Stop Hate Act. No, wait, this is from 2025. Sorry, AIPAC funded reps have put forward a resolution to condemn Hassan Piker and Candace Owens for anti-Semitism and urge social media platforms to address such conduct.
They really just keep trying until they do it. I mean, is there any rule that they can't keep doing this over and over again, trying to litigate this? I mean, it just seems like they have unlimited time and money to just keep badgering people until they go, okay, fine.
Yeah, well, they get unlimited respawns basically again, right? I mean, I've been seeing a lot of this stuff going around. You know, you guys don't really need the First Amendment. First Amendment is really bad. This is going to be the problem, man. If the Democrats get back in, they are going to import to the US the European version of free speech.
By the likes of which we have never seen in this country.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you know, and if they pack to the Supreme Court, you guys will be screwed.
First of all, there's certainly a lot of truth to the idea that left-wing teachers are indoctrinating into a viewpoint on the world that does cross paths into, you know, what causes the symptom that is Jew hatred. I think that's for sure true.
The symptom. I see. It's some kind of a sickness, an illness, like a psychologizing of it.
Dude,
okay.
It's so Kabbalistic. It's always this mythical spirit traveling from nose to nose, giving people the sniffles. It's this microscopic germ. That's always how they talk about it.
It's just Adorno. This is all just Adorno. It's all just the authoritarian personality. Like, you know.
Oh, well, somebody should tell James Lindsay, because isn't that right up his alley?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that the bigger danger when I look at young people right now is social media. Social media is a cesspool. I mean, if you spend any time on X at all over the course of the last couple of years, it is unusable. Truly unusable. I mean, just a vile stream of trash.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. Pause it.
That was,
it was so usable 5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
It was so usable. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. No, like, well, you know, when they controlled it, right?
Couldn't even say retard.
I mean,
remember those days?
What do we do?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I think that, you know, you only do what you can, meaning that I don't control the algorithms. Hopefully somebody who's more responsible now will help control the algorithms. I'm glad that TikTok was taken away from China.
Someone to control the algorithm. Do you think he's got any suggestions of who should do that or how that would come about? Oh, no, wait. What is this I have just discovered that just happened to fall into my lap?
You had my anger, now you have my fury.
The EU has just released like a new thing saying that they want to merge Blue Sky with X. And by merge, what they mean, right, is to have all of Blue Sky's moderation rules on X, but most importantly, their commissariat, right? Because this is the way like Twitter used to be run. This is the way I think Facebook is still kind of run that way, but that's the way Twitter used to be run. They had a commissariat on the inside of Twitter that they could just email any day or night, anytime, day or night, with a list of stuff they wanted taken down. Okay. They could like dick with the algorithm. They could get rid of people. That's what they want.
Technically, would you call them the clown shirts?
Oh, I like it. I like it. Platforms could also be forced to allow third-party moderation systems to access their digital infrastructure, which would enable enhanced censoring of certain content for some users. Yeah, I see where this is fucking going. Right. Okay, so wait, let's do a couple of super chats.
Yeah.
And then
very good. I was gonna say that.
Then we'll go into the
You're taking us for a road trip, buddy. You're gonna be driving for a little bit.
Yep.
I love that sigh.
grab a 6-pack of bagels and a big tub of lox.
Oh,
boys,
American fellas, kiss the ground, okay?
Yeah.
This is gonna be gratitude for the American fellas.
Lenny Grad for $5. Actually, Ardy, the way to pass the question, according to James Lindsay, is to wish death on the person asking the question. No, he's not wrong, is he?
I'm so bad at learning the rules of the real world that we live in.
Jack B. Nimble, member for 6 months. Sorry, missing the recent streams. There's only so much current events I can take before I can't laugh at them anymore. Yeah, I know. Look, you just need to evolve an even darker and harsher sense of humor.
Right.
Pray for my dad. He's in India right now.
Oh no! What did he do? Is it a punishment?
Hope he's all right, mate. Who doesn't get pooped on? Buford Justice for $50. Holy crap.
Fellas, it looks like we officially have our first.
And now the Chad does what the Chad wants. And no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Thank you, Buford.
I would have been a holy enjoyer if it actually happened. Christmas does happen. mate, right? Like I've seen the holly. They have it like Christmas. I don't know what he's talking about. Don't worry, guys. I've been on a list much longer than either of you.
Ooh, okay. Are we you know, whipping out our lists and comparing lists over here? Is that what we're doing?
Thank you very much, Buford.
Thank you very much.
Lenny Grad for $5. Oh yeah, well, you don't have a humanitarian view in your ideology. Guy who puts people in cooler.
Dude, it's too backwards. It's so backwards, it's forwards.
CSI for $5. Hey, I've only been able to listen for the past hour. Can you say every other word you said during that time? Thanks, bro.
I have to think of what I'm going to say and say it would be easier to talk backwards.
King Spectre for $5. Got to see Nick throw that yenter again. Can you restart the stream so we can all watch it? I recommend you acquiesce. You know the leverage I hold.
Hey, I got a fresh one for you, okay?
Okay, wait.
There you go.
Oh, dude. How the hell, Quagmire for $5. How the hell has Ben gone so long being allowed to turn down every real debater on the right? That dude would get trashed by Dyer, Andrew, everyone. Yeah, well, of course, right? You know, he's not gonna like debate. This is what Nick was saying, right? Like Ben will debate the far left. He won't debate anyone to the right of him. That's how it works.
Actually, yeah. Who has he debated that's to the right of him?
No one.
Now that I think about it, that didn't even occur to me.
Yeah. Great Slayer for $5. Go to liturgy, Ardy.
Shame me, fellas. Shame me in the chat. Shame me in the chat. Do I have anything to shame me in the chat for emojis? I'm getting close. Okay? Well, it'll be there sometimes. Okay, it'll be there sometimes. But you have to realize there's, and this is what I'm trying to understand about middle-aged atheists. Okay, for us to be on the right wing, we have a extremely high level of resilience, and I feel like there's something in us where we've had to be resilient for so long that it's difficult for us to, like, if this makes sense, to like let that down and to like accept in an actual ideology. That's as far as I've gotten in terms of communicating with other right-wing atheists as to what this feeling is.
Yeah, but I think again, you've got a very, very weird view of this, man, right? It's not some evangelical thing where you like walk in and you're struck by a bolt of lightning and you're like, Jesus, I'm healed. No, it's you know, it's like a.
I think you have to realize too, like this is less than a year for me as to how new this is for me. Okay, this is like the most. It might seem chaotic to you guys. It's actually the most stable. Like my brain has been in terms of trying to understand what's going on. It hasn't even been a year yet. So I'm very much enjoying the ride so far. In worst case scenario, I'm leading to other people going to, that's the worst thing that can happen, is I'm leading to other people going to liturgy. It's the worst case scenario. So I think it's kind of win-win so far.
Okay. So UK news time, Governor.
Oh boy.
The UK is alight at the moment with Moo fever. Oh, it's just been crazy. Basically, as I think I don't know if I covered this during the opener. 2 Moos got stabbed in the Mooish quarter of London. Yes, London has a Mooish quarter where all the Moos are. It's not a ghetto. Just don't ask any questions, right? don't think about it. This sort of schizo guy just went up and like stabbed 2 people on Golders Green Road.
Who's a schizo guy? Just a lone wolf attack?
Yeah, basically he's like a schizo. Like they're trying to say, oh my god, he's being paid by the Iranians and but he stabbed his Muslim roommate. So he got let out of a mental institution like about 5 days before. And then he stabbed his Muslim roommate and then ran, I don't know whether he took the bus or whatever, wound up in Golders Green Road and just started like chasing people around. Now, because Golders Green Road, of course, is very, very Mooish, he wounds up chasing moose and he stabbed 2 of them. Don't worry, no one died. But the hysteria in response to this has been legitimately insane. I mean, given the amount of like crime in London and the number of stabbings and all this kind of stuff.
People, the X that's unusable to Ben Shapiro. It's unusable to some of us because of all of the black antics that we see and the things we see going on in the UK every single fucking day. Is the reason why we would go, wow, X is extreme, because we're seeing how all of this is happening, and then we see what the mainstream media chooses to fucking focus on. That's how it's extreme.
So yeah, I'll play you a little footage.
תראה מה זה, לא יודעים להתמודד עם בן אדם, תפילו אותו!
Now, usually, right, two cops kicking a downed black man in the head like that would be very, very bad. But because he was attacking the moose, that's absolutely fine. These guys won't be up on charges for assault or anything. Okay,
you
so
like that? They were like,
worried.
finally, we're allowed to abuse somebody.
So they got him up, like, you know, blah, 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 blah. You can see the Shom rim around there. I think that's the Shom rim, or maybe it's just a random bystander. He gets like caught up as well. I don't know. He's got like a stick of some kind. The Shom rim, of course, are the Mooish police force that the Moos have in their own area. Why? Don't think about it, right? Like, you know, honestly, just
okay.
Don't think about it.
I have some questions, but I guess I'll just stare at the wall instead.
Yeah. Arden points out he was also refusing to let go of the knife. That is a very, very good point, right? He wasn't just, you know, he wasn't just like down, you know, doing nothing. The cops were like, let go of the knife, let go of the knife.
Someone's got a knife, you go for the head.
Well, I suppose it's effective. You can see here the cop wrestling the knife away from him. Now, the reaction from the UK establishment was immediate and predictable. Unlike what would have happened if two, you know, just, you know, white people, right? Like, who cares about them, right? You got stabbed by some like random Somalian who had a mental health problem. The English state leapt into action. Here's Nigel Farage.
A London street, now sadly an ordinary day. 2 people stabbed simply because they're Jewish. It's now been declared a terrorist incident. It's Iranian-backed. And what do we...
He knows none of this,
Have
right?
they ever said that it's because someone's white?
No.
You've been there for a minute. You've been there for a couple of weeks. Have they ever even come close to saying that it's because someone's white? Even if somebody explicitly says this is because you're white.
No. In fact,
you know what? We deserve it because we're bad at dancing.
When the grape gang victims tried to bring this up, that they were told explicitly that it was being done to them because they were white, right?
Yep.
They were like, oh, that's racist. Don't say that. Right. But like, this is different. And Farage put this out like literally as soon as it happened. No one knew anything about the guy. No one knows, like, you know, this idea, oh, it's backed by Iran. It's just some random Somalian psycho, right? Which the white population of London has been dealing with for ages. But, you know, now that it's affecting the chosen client group, oh, well, you know, something must be done. What do you think they're going to propose to do about it? You know, mass remigration? No. Funnily enough.
Yeah. What do we get from the Prime Minister? The usual, you know, justice will be served. It won't. We've still got the IRGC, not as a prescribed organisation, though he's now promised to do it. And we still have the Muslim Brotherhood, banned in most sensible Muslim countries, able to do what they like, and hate marches allowed in British cities. Something much bigger needs to happen. My thoughts with the community, but I'm afraid we need action.
So I think they want to prescribe the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps so that it would be impossible to negotiate with Iran because they're basically half of Iran's government at the moment. I would have no problem banning the Muslim Brotherhood personally. And the other thing that they want banned, of course, is the pro-Palestine marches that are basically happening every week in London. They really do not like that, even though mostly, I mean, they're mostly peaceful. Like in actually, like they haven't started, doing like mass burning downs or stuff. Although they have attacked a couple of Israeli arms businesses, and some of them broke into like an airbase and like messed with like a plane. But I just think they just don't want people going around just talking about Gaza, right? Look, it was a long time ago, bros, right? They still haven't let journalists in on the ground to like film the devastation. Okay, look, don't look back in anger. By the way, this is another thing you will notice about this entire thing. There is never any suggestion to not look back in anger to preserve community cohesion. Oh, we can't release the footage because, right, it would like, hurt multiculturalism. Oh, no. When it's this group, all the rules go out the window.
2 men, one in his 70s and one in their 30s, were treated at the scene for stab wounds, and they're now taken to hospital. The 45-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and remains in custody following a checkup at the local hospital.
This, by the way, is the chief of the Met Police.
I'm sorry. I need clarification here. What makes it a terrorist incident?
Nobody knows. Presumably because it was against Moose, right? Southport wasn't a terrorist incident, despite the fact that the kid had an Al-Qaeda manual.
Okay, so the guy was a Muslim, right?
Well, allegedly, yeah. I mean, he's Somalian, so I don't know. I really don't know.
That is wild, dude.
Yeah, but the Southport killer, despite having like literally having ricin and like AQ manuals, that was not a terrorist thing. This is a terrorist thing.
He has a history of serious violence and mental health issues, and that investigation continues. Let me say a few words about what this was. Let me be clear. This is an attack on one community. An attack on one community is an attack on all London's communities.
Unless they're white.
This was an attack on Londoners. It is an attack on British Jews. Too many Jewish people in this country feel they have to make choices that no other Briton ever has to make.
There it is. Pause it. Everyone gets to feel something except for whites.
Yep.
Everyone else gets to feel a certain way. And honestly, like, I understood this with women. Women get to feel a certain way, and we kind of like go, oh, that's how a woman feels. That's how I've grown up my entire life. And then I started to realize, well, then if a black feels a certain way, then if a moo feels a certain, then at a certain point, I'm like, this is no longer gendered. This is no longer between the sexes. This is explicitly against white people that never get to feel scared or unwelcomed in an area for being white.
Now, what, of course, the Met Commissioner is talking about is the horrible idea that moos in a Moorish community might have to alter their behavior in some way and feel afraid. Yeah, imagine if that happened to like literally anybody else in London. I just want to point this out. Okay. I've been feeling this way for years, right? You don't like go out in London and like wear expensive clothes, wear expensive watches. You just, right. You want to dress down. You don't want to. And this was from 2002.
This is an Onion article, dude. Show me the real stuff. Quit fucking with me over here.
This is 100% real, right? Muggings got so bad, okay? And what did the Met do? Did they like do more arrests? No! They told everybody, right, not to wear expensive watches in public and not to have your mobile phones out. This was literally on a van that they had like driving around in the crime hotspots in London. Wear it with care. Avoid unnecessary risk. Travel with a friend. Travel with a friend. What the fuck is this? Bloody Syria, right? Cover it up, right? And of course, their ultimate solution to like any kind of interpersonal crime, if you are mugged, just give them everything that they want. Right?
How is this not tacitly saying we're not going to save you? We're not going to protect you. Like imagine for a moment, Fist, your wife's going to be going out with you, okay? And you say to her, now, make sure, even though you're going to be with me, all right? I ain't fucking protecting you. So make sure whatever you're wearing, okay, wear it with care. Avoid unnecessary risk.
No, no, no. Look, if you are going anywhere in London, like classy, you take a taxi like right there. Okay, right? Like you don't walk like around. Okay.
What is the tourism in London at
well,
this point?
basically, there are like some areas in London that are just like really, really rich.
Is it like
okay?
North Korea where they're all tourists are escorted?
so, like, so there are like, you know, some areas that are like really, really highly policed, right? You know, mainly where like all the rich Arabs like hang out, or at least they did, right? Like London's basically going down the tubes even more, right? But you know, because you can't defend yourself in any way, shape, or form. If anything happens to you, right? Like when my house got fucking burgled, they won't actually like solve the problem, but they will have a victim support officer call you up a couple of weeks later and check in on you and be like, you okay? I want my fucking stuff back. Oh, well, we can't do that. We're just like checking up. And I reckon the only reason they do that is like to cover their asses in case like something happens, you know, someone gets all their shit like taken and they kill themselves. And then the Met might be on the hook. Apart from that, they don't do shit. And I want to point this out as well, that the crime figures in London are massively fudged. Okay.
Well, I
Firstly,
can't believe you don't trust your government.
Yeah. Well, no. Okay. Well, firstly, right. Very few people report crimes in London anymore. Because what's the point? Right. Like,
actually, yeah, that makes sense. Why?
Right,
why would I? If I know they're not going to do anything, why would I?
Exactly. Like, why even bother? The only time really that you would do it is if they've stolen something, you need to claim it on insurance or something like that, right? And then you need like a police number. Otherwise, what's the bloody point, right? So this is the stunning and brave individual that did the jabby McStabby, Essa Suleiman, of the fine British name, right? Like he's a Somali translator who has a history of violence, including stabbing 2 police officers and a police dog in 2008, right?
Now, a translator. So they've been trusting this guy to translate information when he's had this on the inside the entire time.
Yeah, he was jailed for 9 years in 2008 for grievous bodily harm.
Wait, he was in prison for 9 years.
Yeah.
for doing what exactly?
Well, for stabbing people, basically, right? Like
I love it.
He stabbed 2 cops and a police dog in 2008. Okay, he did like 4 years jail or something like that. He got sentenced to like 9 years, did like 4, and then was let out. He's got very serious mental health problems, apparently. Or
here he goes stabbing again,
right? Yes, exactly. Could just be Somalian. I don't know, right? And he was apparently let out of a mental hospital like a few weeks ago, and then stabbed his flatmate, and then decided to go like and have a bit of a stabby stab, basically, right? I mean, like, honestly, the jokes just write themselves. Don't worry.
If only there was something that could have been done.
If only there was something. No, look, what they need, right, is a community support, victim support officer to phone them up and ask them if they're okay.
Wait, what? A what?
A victim support officer. What, you never heard of those?
A victim support officer. Is that like what the left here wants, like a social worker? Is that what you're calling your social workers?
No. Well, they are police, but their job basically is to just like phone up people who've had horrible shit happen to them and just be like, "Are you okay?" You'd be like, "Yeah, well, I'd really like my stuff back or resolution of the crime." And they'll be like, "Well, we can't do that," right? Oh god, it's hilarious.
Like down a couple of soupies.
Oh, we got soupies. Yes, actually, I think we've got quite a thick soupy in the stack, don't we? New GM for $5. Thank you very much.
Thank you, bruv.
Ardy bragged on stream about the fellow Bible study, but he hasn't shown up since. Shameful.
Whoa! Bragged. All I did was say that it was meaningful. Okay, and I was starting to bragged. What do you think I was like fucking getting pussy saying that on stream? What are you fucking bragging to who about what? Bragging.
I got to come to the Bible study on the Discord as well.
My word,
I'm so busy,
bragging,
man.
I was just saying that it felt good to pray for someone else and have them pray for me. I wouldn't say I was bragging. Okay, let a man dip his toe for the love of God, literally for the love of God.
Frankensteak for $100. Holy crap!
And
dude, thank you so much, man.
And shiny new Chad of
and now the Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Wow.
I was an atheist for 15 years. I'm very logic based, just like Ardy. I mull over issues that don't have clear answers. Christ answers these problems. Study the Bible and you'll see the themes and symbolisms that apply today. The world is crazy because we reject the Logos. Yeah, man, I can't disagree with that.
What about retarded people, okay, that can't read, right? I'm not, you think I'm going to understand the Bible, okay? It's done through conversation is how I learn.
You're not retarded. Why is this even relevant?
I'll give you my mom's phone number, okay? Because I don't read. Because people keep telling me to read and I don't retain information.
You don't have to fucking read, okay? Just go to church, go to liturgy, right? They'll give you a little piece of paper, right? That has like today's
weird.
reading
It's
on
so
it.
weird to do that. I need you to understand how weird that feels, okay? I've already been pretty isolated from a lot of people since COVID, okay? I don't feel normal. Even the thought of doing it feels unbelievably, I feel like an alien, okay? I need you to understand that.
Maybe.
I know that it's easy to just go and whatnot.
Dude,
I feel very unbelievably uncomfortable. I'd probably rather my mom walk in on me jerking off than going there. That's how uncomfortable the thought of it fucking feels. If you really want to fucking know, okay? That's how uncomfortable the fucking thought of it feels.
It's not invasion of the body snatchers, right? No one's gonna come up to you and be like,
"That thing was a fucking rational fear." Yeah, it's fucking weird. I know. Yes, it's very strange, but that's what it feels like on the inside. I haven't even thinking about it. Oh God, it feels weird.
It's just your demons, mate. You'll be happier without them. Trust me.
I feel like an alien. Thank you very much for that. Hey, thank you for causing me to spurg out and confront my demons out of nowhere. That was very powerful. Thank you.
Thank you, Frankenstack.
Sweating out.
TNRFNV for $10.
Oh,
yeah, bro. Someone please remove these cutlery from my knees. Oi, Gov. Someone please remove these cutleries.
Oi, give him back his property, mate. That's his knife.
You got a license to be having like the cutlery? Yeah, it looks like you're smuggling illegal cutlery.
Yeah, you have a
knees, bro.
You have a knife inside of you, and the UK police officer was like, "How long is that knife that you have there, sir?" It's inside of me. You have a permit for that? The knife that's inside of me? Yes.
Pretty much. Quagmire for $20. Thank you so much. More than anything, what frustrates me is how so goddamn obvious this shit is. It's so ridiculously frustrating that when it's called out, it's also just ignored. I think progress is being made. I'm gonna talk about some of the backlash that's happening. I get it. The progress is glacial, but I do believe people are actually coming around on this issue. Brother Gunther, 4 months membership. Thank you, mate. How is being racist not preferable to this? I don't know.
Well, I think that's the issue, is that they're trying to call you these words, and it's like, yeah, but what about what's physically happening? They always want you more afraid of what the right is thinking or possibly saying than what the left is actually doing. And so people are now like, oh, okay, call me racist. Okay. Yeah, that really doesn't have an effect on me when I see what you're doing. I feel like that's finally going away. All of it, like when we pick up on things, okay, the spurgs that we are, it typically takes society over a year to kind of also be able to admit it. It seems like, you know?
Yep. And Leningrad, 1 month's membership. Thank you, mate. People like yourself go to liturgy, Ardy. He's right. By the way,
what does that mean?
Right. Well,
people like
look,
me. No one's like me. I'm special. That's how God made me.
You think you're the only person that has that like weird tension inside you, like whenever you like walk into a church? I was like that. We're all like that.
I
Like-
might have to have a private fella Spurg session where I can actually scream and get these feelings out. That actually felt kind of good to scream just then about it. Because it's like it's in the back of my head. Do you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Something that I talk about at the forefront. But I feel like an actual it's a very uncomfortable feeling when I think about it. It's the best way I can explain it.
Yeah, it's your demons. Don't worry, you'll be better off without them.
Fucking, that sounds so backhanded when you say it.
No, everyone.
What do you mean? No, you can't say it like that. Yeah, it's just your demons, man. It's fine. Well, how do you know that? Come on. Maybe it's just insecurity. Can it be that? Do I have to have demons growing inside of me like a fucking worms?
Yeah, basically. Everyone's got them, man. Like, you know, don't sweat it, right?
No, I don't have any bacteria in my gut at all. Okay. No, actually, Ardy, everyone actually has that.
So even though, right, they got the Met Police chief to come down, try and mollify the crowd, it still wasn't enough. And as you can sort of imagine, the hysteria was like quite prominent.
Statements from you. According to the Design Commissioner, have you failed? From the competition. Do you think that visibly Jewish people are safe on the streets of London?
This is an awful attack.
What did she ask?
Completely understand.
He's being asked if visibly Moorish people are safe on the streets of London, right? Don't care about like anyone. Like, what about visibly white people are being safe on the streets of London? Don't worry about it, bro.
It's also an admission as to how sneaky they are, where they have to add the word visible.
Visibly.
People with a, if somebody works at a hotel and they had the last name Leibowitz on their name tag, are they safe? What if there's a visible marker of them?
It's so funny, actually, if you think about it, right? Like, how many of them like literally go out of their way to like, appear? They're like goths. Remember, like, all the goths be wandering around like all dressed in black. They're like, why are you looking at me? It's like, because he dressed like a freak, bro.
It probably is a high crossover of goth and Tikkun Olam when you think about it.
Yeah, well, my theory on that basically is that there's two pipelines. There's the Goth to Orthodox pipeline or the Goth to Satanism pipeline.
It really is too. You go in a direction. You gotta do something with that energy.
Why Jewish Londoners feel afraid. That's why we're putting so much extra policing into these events, and we're going to be looking at what more we can do over the course of next week.
What do you say to these people who are saying resign and shame on you?
I've had so many thanks from Jewish communities over the last few weeks for all the extra policing that's done. People recognise that officers are going above and beyond to protect them.
Fortunately, as you might imagine, London has infinite police, so pulling them right from one place to another place like does not change anything from the place that they're like pulled from or anything. Fortunate that, I mean, this is the kind of like hysteria that we're like seeing is literally just everywhere, right? Moo hate is out of control, right? I mean,
that's this one time, this 2 times that it happened, that's out of control. But when I turn on Piers Morgan and he's talking about the 40 years of grooming gangs, what does Piers Morgan say? Oh, I don't agree with it at all.
Yeah.
Does it seem out of control, Piers? Oh, yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah. Seems out of control.
I mean,
like it's fucking out of control.
So apparently an Iran-linked group claimed responsibility for this unprovoked attack. This Iran-linked group that they're talking about just basically sprung up out of nowhere. And I believe it's the same Iran-linked group, quote unquote, that uses terms like the land of Israel in their communiques, which is not something any kind of like Iranian-linked group would say, number one. And number two, it is the Sunni that are primarily known for like terror attacks, right? Not the Shia. And I've found this out from like someone. The Shia are basically kind of like Islamic Catholics, right? So they've got like a big like clergy, and they're like, all the teachings have to be passed down through the clergy. The Sunni are basically like Islamic Protestants, which is why all the really, really crazy shit comes out of the Sunnis, because it's that same kind of thing. Anyone can pick up the Quran and just read through it and come to a correct understanding.
I know, man. That the most harm really does come from that.
I mean, look at this shit. Every fucking newspaper.
I mean, can the UK people even become any more demoralized with where they're just like, okay, dude, come on now. This is fucking crazy at this point. We get it. We're pieces of shit.
The thing that gets me, right, you see in the lower right, these attacks are an attack on Britain itself, unlike the attacks on the actual British.
There are people that have been there for thousands of years.
It's
Calvin
crazy,
Robinson,
right?
1,000-year history of being there.
Yeah. No, it is the moos, right, that are the essential core of Britain, right? Not the British, right? So fucking. And then they had a little bit of a protest. This is pretty funny. Just calling out like Keir Starmer. What is he supposed to do about it, right? Reverse multiculturalism? There's no way Labor's gonna
I mean, maybe what your government should do is what my government did, okay? Forced integration. Trust me, it works out so well. Just get your guns out, put it in the backs of people, and just force them to get along, right? I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
You know, they've already tried that. It's going great.
Really? Wait, are they saying Keir Starmer, moo harmer?
The irony, of course, right, is that Starmer is basically half Mooish. His wife is Mooish. His kids are Mooish. They go to synagogue and stuff like that. He stood up in front of like a.
Oh, imagine what they would be able to say about him if he was white.
Oh yeah, that would be.
Who do you think has more fans, Brian Shapiro or Keir Starmer? What is the phenotype? What is a Brian Shapiro or Keir Starmer fan? What do they look like? What do they do day to day? Do you ever see one in the wild? Do they exist?
I have not really seen any Starmer fans in the wild, to be perfectly honest. Like like the lefties that would usually support him, they've all split off to join the Greens.
Yeah.
No one on the right supports it. He just did that classic politician trick where he said like a bunch of shit to get into office and then just turned around and did like whatever he wanted. Well, not whatever his handlers wanted. Okay, let's be more precise, right?
Yep.
And then we've got this kind of like hysterical stuff. Moos in the UK, arm yourselves. If you get stopped by a police officer, explain to them that you are Mooish and your life is important to you. Show them your kippah, your Star of David, and tell them you have no other choice to be armed. Thanks very much. I'll try that, right? Imagine
it's okay.
Imagine a white
we have
person.
advice.
Imagine being a white person, right? The police like stop you. They're like, you're like, oh, actually, officer, I have to carry this knife, because I'm white and my life is important to me. Yeah, the cops aren't gonna give a shit.
Your life's important to you. There's other people in this country. Okay. I know that your life's important to you, but we're trying to live in a society. I'm sorry, is that a moo? That's everybody. There we go.
Yeah. And as this Anon points out, if we said this in regard to the grape gangs, the armies in the hotels, we'd be jailed, but it's fine, bro. The backlash has been quite interesting, right? I'm looking at the comments on social media, and genuine decent people, are getting more and more enraged at the disproportionate attention at the highest levels being given to the non-fatal stabbings in Golders Green. This is now actually fueling antagonism towards Moose. This is correct. This is absolutely correct, because the government did not address any of the things happening to the actual population. And this whole idea that, we're all equal. I don't think anyone really believes that anymore, right? There are client groups, there are non-client groups, and the client groups are rank ordered by like how close they are to power. And the Moos are the closest, followed by the Muslims, followed by the gays, followed by, I don't know, and anybody else, the Indians, the Sikhs, like whatever. And you have like the whites, like basically last in line, right?
Classic.
Look at this, right? The king's on a state visit at the moment in the US, but even he is very concerned about this non-fatal stabbing.
Buckingham Palace. The king, of course, he is on his royal visit across in America at the moment. I think he's in New York today, but he is being kept fully informed and is deeply concerned after the terrorist attack on 2 Jewish men in Golders Green, and says his thoughts and prayers are with the victims. That from Buckingham Palace in.
I am pretty sure that the king didn't even come out and say that stuff about Southport, to be honest, right?
I mean, why would they lie, though?
Right? Now, this is very, very interesting. Basically, the government has said, don't worry, we're going to give you all more money, more security, all this kind of other stuff. Every single time something like this happens, they basically like, we're going to give you more money, we're going to give you more security, right? And just to give you an idea, this is from 2025, faith attacks on religious buildings and protective funding. So there are about 300,000 moves in the UK, approximately 300 synagogues. There were 25 direct damage incidents and 107 building targeted. They get 58 million in funding, which is 187 pounds per person.
Incredible. Not
Right?
bad.
The Muslims, 4 million people. Yes, there are that many. 2,000 mosques, 27 attacks between July and October, arson, vandalism, graffiti. According to the British Muslim Trust, they'll probably inflate their numbers. A lot of these, groups do. They get 40 million in funding, or approximately 10 pounds per person. The Christians, or the native British, 27.5 million, with tens of thousands of churches, 1,000 over 1,000 criminal damage, vandalism, and arson cases, a total of 3,800 crimes at church sites, over 10 plus per day. Then, of course, there's the grape gangs. They get 5 million in funding, which is 18 pence per person.
Now, I would love for my heart to go out to you, Fist, but I can't because Trump's my president, right? I mean, would you really want to trade places, Fist, having Trump as president versus, these petty squabbles that you have going on over there? What I love about this, by the way, is the sources, is the Anti-Semantic Report, the British Muslim Trust, and where's our native daughters are getting raped fucking organization that's in there. It seems to be missing from those fucking NGOs that they're collecting data from.
Yeah. Well, I think the Countryside Alliance looks after like the churches and stuff. Anything with Countryside is generally like white people because that's where they're all fleeing to. And the Home Office, of course, which is basically run by Muslims now. So, that's awesome. Don't worry. The London Mayor, Suck Dick Khan. That's how you pronounce that, by the way.
Khan.
Yes, Suck Dick, right? He doesn't like people to know that, but in his native tongue, it is in fact Suck Dick. Sets out a proposed new approach to protect Moorish people in London, increasing neighborhood policing teams, creating a community police hub, and adding an investigative team to expedite hate crime investigations. Great.
Is there any way for you guys to get rid of the hate crime thing?
If Restore gets in, that's
right?
the only way it's going to happen. Reform aren't going to remove it. No way. The problem is it's too useful. You sort of in a multicultural society, you basically need stuff like that, right? Particularly if you've got
in a democracy, it's like getting rid of lobbyists. It's already too useful.
The thing is, you've got all of these minorities who just kick off is the problem, right? And so because the goal is no longer justice, but just to keep some kind of like order, it is simpler to arrest people saying stuff if there is a danger that the minorities might kick off. You get what I'm saying, right? So the calculus has changed. It's not about whether something's true or who was right or who was wrong. It has just all become about like stopping everything from kicking off into flames, basically. This is Mulia Hartley Brewer. Look at this. Look at the
lady. Look at the lady in the middle, dude. She looks like she just came from a grooming gang visit. Look at that disheveled hair. Look at that demoralized look on her face. That is a weathered woman. She's not necessarily ugly or old. She could be 25 for all I know and just weathered.
The face of fatigue.
Right?
Let's stop importing people from countries where anti-Semitism is the norm.
That's a great idea, Ms. Brewer. Why are they here? Is there any
She had me at let's stop importing people. I
No.
thought that was a period at the end of that.
Is there any group that like was really, really interested in like taking in all of these refugees? I guess it just happened for no reason whatsoever, right?
Maybe that would be good. Let's stop having hate pictures coming to mosques and stuff online where you're basically normalizing this of thinking about of Jewish people as somehow both ruling the world but also being subnormal. Why do we not have people on the streets of London every fortnight on a Saturday freely walking through our city with the most outrageous anti-Semitic banners and chants calling for the annihilation of the only Jewish state in the world, from the river to the sea, globalize the intifada?
I mean, she's right. Like, if only they were walking through every week calling for the annihilation of like the white English, that would be perfectly acceptable, quite frankly. You know,
I know, but I love how the only Moorish state in the world. So what? You could just go to France. Whites have other countries they can go to. That somehow changes the circumstances. Hey, they have no other place to go. Well, okay. You whites, it's okay if we do this to you because you have other places to go with other people that are like you that can't collectivize, but still somehow you have other places to go.
Yeah, so you can, if you want to be proud of being white, you could just go to like Canada, or Australia.
What the fuck are you dying? It's nonsensical.
That's what it means. Globalized intifada means kill Jews everywhere. That's what it means. And if our London Mayor, Sadiq Khan, in his infinite wisdom and belief in diversity, thinks that's the sort of diverse view that it's okay to have on the streets of London and the police don't get involved, don't be shocked, and don't you bloody dare claim to be shocked or upset or care about Jewish people being stabbed on the streets of our capital city in broad daylight. This is on you.
Now, I don't want to sound misogynistic, but is it possible for a woman to sound angry without sounding like a condescending fucking cunt? Like, did they have that tone in their repertoire?
She is. I mean, it's a classic. It's the state of exception, right? Like they care more about this than they do about any other group, right? I mean, she's Moorish, so of course, right? Starmer came out to talk. Remember, no one died. Okay, right? Both of the people who were attacked were basically fine, right? They did
the same thing when that little 12-year-old girl was being harassed by, and she pulled out like two daggers or a knife and a sickle or whatever.
God, yeah, fuck, man. Oh, I'd forgotten about it. It happens so often now. It's every day. I've just checked out. I can't even just deal looking at it. It's just relentless. Like, talk about shit being normalized, right? It has been just totally normalized.
Now, I'm trying to find empathy for you, okay? But Trump is my president right now, so it's really, really difficult where I am, okay? I have to think about whether or not I'm going to support the Republicans in the midterms, okay? So I only have so much empathy in my body. Please, you understand what I'm going through with the United States, right?
I do. It's terrible, terrible.
Well, let me start by saying what an appalling attack this is. And my thoughts and all of our thoughts are with the victims, their families.
Right. But why is it appalling? Right. Were these people like, did they lose a limb? Did anyone die? Did anyone suffer life-changing injuries? Were there any children involved? No, right? The appalling part is that they were Mooish. That's it. That's the only appalling part of this.
Well, and for you to say that the only appalling part is because they're Mooish is specifically supplemented with the fact that they immediately knew that it was because the person was Mooish. They are the ones that somehow had the foresight to immediately. Usually the investigation, which is just code word for we had to figure out what the narrative is going to be. It was crazy. Somehow bypassed. Anti-Semitism bypasses an investigation. It's incredible.
Yeah, amazing.
And let's be frank, this is not an isolated incident. There have been a series of anti-Semitic attacks. And I know firsthand the anxiety.
A series. How many do you need for a series?
Well,
how many were there actually?
There was, remember there was the ambulance cost where those like poor ambulances got set on fire.
Yeah, God, dude. It really is like how white people care more about their dogs than they do about homeless people. That's how much more they care about the ambulances than the goy.
And I don't know, there've been like allegedly like a couple of sort of I don't know, vandalism incidents or something like that, right? I have heard tell there have been a couple of synagogue fire bombings. I don't know.
There's a serial killer on the loose, and it's called anti-Semitism.
The thing is, right, you will notice when it is like, say, a Somalian or a Muslim attacking white people, immediately we best not speculate. We can't release the name of the attacker, all of this kind of like stuff, don't speculate. When it's this, totally different MO, right? You can speculate all you want. We're going to immediately release the footage, all this kind of like stuff.
That's his causing in the community and concern. I was at Kenton Synagogue last week where I heard a lot about that level of anxiety. It'll be worse after today. We're very much in touch with the community, and I'll visit as soon as possible.
This is yet another anti-Semitic attack in this country. You've said yourself that it's the first responsibility of government to ensure citizen safety. Your critics will say you're not doing that.
Well, I think that's funny, huh?
Yeah, I do. I do think that. I do think that's fucking funny, right? Oh, yes, the first job of government is to ensure citizen safety. We're not doing a very fucking good job.
I've just held a COBRA meeting, bringing together all the relevant partners, including the Home Secretary, the London Mayor, the Metropolitan Commissioner, to coordinate our response and to look at enhanced security. I've also spoken to...
Now, I want to point out, right, that when Southport happened, they did have a COBRA meeting, but the COBRA meeting was to figure out what they were going to do with all the pissed off whites who were like rioting about it, right? Not...
Wait, when you mean... Pissed off whites, you mean the people that have been there generationally?
Yeah.
Okay.
They tried to frame it like it was organized right-wing groups, but it wasn't. It was just all the locals like just insanely like pissed off. They're like, oh, these organized right-wing groups that are like, no, just like they had to admit afterwards there was no organized right-wing group behind it. It was just locals that were like pissed off.
CST. There is enhanced funding already in place. We need to increase that to give the level of protection that is needed. We need to take measures to deal with malign state actors, but we also have to be really clear that we need to get to the root causes of extremism and anti-Semitism, and so that is what we're doing.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The root causes, which are what? Exactly.
I whenever someone says that, just logically, my brain goes, when do you think anti-Semitism started? Because like, if it's a problem that's been going on for over 1,000 years, and you think you're just going to get to the root of it now, thinking that no one's ever gotten to the root of it before, I think, do they really, how do you circle that square? Where you're like, this has been around for so long, we're going to get to the bottom of this. All right. There's got to be something here. It's not their behavior. It's not our treatment of our native population.
You circle it with Adorno, right? You reframe it as like a psychological illness, right? Or like a contagious like thing. And you control people's thoughts. You use censorship. You use...
I'm sorry, are we talking about COVID or anti-Semitism right now?
What's the difference?
I'm getting confused right now. Yeah.
Right. It's the same playbook.
Oh, dude, that very much radicalized me. I remember this, where racism was considered a national health emergency.
Yep.
And I was talking to my ex-roommate that was living in Japan at the time. Of course, he's still a lefty in an ethnic paradise of Japan. They have healthcare and whatnot. I'm like, well, they have their own people and whatnot. And I said to him, like, did you see how racism is a national health emergency? And this is, I think, where this first came from. And he goes, yeah, that's dumb. I disagree with it. And I'm like, that's it? You don't think it's, I don't know, Matt, fucking crazy at all? And that's when, like, I slowly started going fucking scorched earth on people. When I'm like, they're equating it to health racism. He's like, yeah, I don't agree with that. Oh, I just got a flashback right now.
Kenny Bateman says this is a national emergency. Nigel Farage says the Jewish community is in your thoughts and prayers, but with no action. What do you say to these criticisms?
Well, the government is taking action in relation to security, cohesion, extremism. But of course, It's our responsibility to coordinate the immediate response here to this appalling attack, to ensure security is in place, to take other measures. I'm holding a meeting tomorrow with the criminal justice agencies to make sure that we can have effective and swift justice in these cases. But we do have to recognise the levels of anxiety and concern there are, that I know about in terms of the Jewish community feeling very much.
Do white people ever get levels of anxiety? These, like, when I hear the word anxiety in an English accent, I immediately view it as a racialized term to also not include white people now.
Yep. Now, this is quite hilarious. Okay. So you have like a bunch of people from the Moorish community basically like wondering, why aren't all the whites standing up and supporting them? Well, because when horrible stuff was happening to whites, you didn't give a crap, right? Where was the massive Moorish rally in response to Southport? Where was like the massive Moorish NGOs, agitating about the grape gangs?
I've made this point before on stream.
Totally,
this is why we don't have your back.
Yep, they were totally silent. So, it's like that old thing. First they came for the Moors, and I was not Moorish, and so I didn't speak out. And then they came for the Christians, and no, all this kind of like stuff.
Yeah, and then that poem ends with, "And I didn't give a fuck because they never had my back anyway."
and now, basically, well, they came for the Christians. You didn't speak out because you weren't a Christian and you didn't care, and probably low key like was happy to see it happen to them. Came for the whites, right? Didn't speak out, and now no one cares.
I think it's sort of, it's the easier response to think the government could, wave a wand and this would go away. I think there are definitely criticisms people are making of the government. You heard them expressed very, very vocally on the streets of Golders Green. You hear them about the police too, even though actually the Jewish community organizations that work with the police say they've been exceptional, particularly in recent months. So I think that's an outlet. At the moment, you're looking at a community deploying a whole lot of coping strategies to deal with this psychological shock. I mean, at the weekend, I was hearing
Pause it. Just as an avid internet user, to hear him call something a coping strategy is just poetic irony to me.
People saying, well, look, they're trying to firebomb and burn down synagogues, but they're doing it at night. So at least they're not trying to kill people. Well, now after today, you can't use that coping strategy anymore. And thinking that there's some kind of mechanism, some measure the government could take that would solve this is, I'm afraid, I think another coping strategy. It requires something bigger, which is for society itself, not just government, to say that this is a national emergency and to respond to it the way we would a collective national emergency. So you heard the Commissioner of Metropolitan Police today say this may be coming from state actors, and there is a finger of suspicion pointed at Iran because there's this current spate started.
There's a what suspicion?
War.
They're just saying what?
Yeah.
There's
what
a
word did he say? Did he say a fingerous?
A finger of suspicion.
A finger of suspicion.
Yeah.
On Iran began, that's one piece of this. There are terror groups. There is, said the commissioner, the extreme left, there's the extreme right. I think you should also have mentioned violent jihadism as a movement, as an idea which has taken root in some elements, definitely not all, of the Muslim community. That has to.
Why are they here? That's my question, right? Why are all these people from Pakistan and Nigeria? Why are they in the UK?
It is a fascinating psychology. They're seeking asylum from their religion that they're bringing. In the same way where, like, in the United States, people that don't like the policies of LA and New York City move to Texas and Florida and then try to vote in those same policies, dude. It's just, you want to talk about a fucking virus? You want to talk about a symptom of a fucking illness? I would use those words for that concept much more readily.
To be tackled as well. It doesn't do anybody any good by not naming it. And I would look for those people who are most strong in their self-image, opponents of racism. Where are they right now? Why isn't there a call for a huge rally in London this weekend of every committed anti-racist in the country to come out and stand in solidarity with one of Britain's oldest and now most vulnerable minorities?
Because you don't care about anyone else. That's why, right? That's the simple answer.
Oh, look at her. She's morphing right now. She's changing.
She's getting a blowy under the desk.
It has been very conspicuous by its absence. And I would look to those people, rather than government to ban this or that, I would look for those movements to be taking a public stand. And so far, they're not. Politicians are saying the right thing.
All the anti-racist groups are on the left, mate. And the left has a bit of a problem with Israel at the moment. So, I mean, I don't know, right?
I still don't, because like the LGBTQ stuff has died down in terms of national rhetoric for the most part. I mean, are the police still wearing pride flags?
I think that slackened off a bit. That was not like a widespread thing, right? That was mainly in the woke sort of white areas. You tend to find that actually the wokest stuff is like in these certain areas like Wales, like outside, because in London, right, the cops have got actual stuff to do. You know what I mean, right? You tend to find like also a lot of the speech crime stuff is in these same areas where all the whites have fled to.
Yeah.
But they still don't understand that it was their ideology, their liberal ideology, that turned it into this. So, you know, you've got these like areas where they're all just white woke.
I asked that because how do they rectify transing kids and having Muslims go to the same schools? Like the UK really put a lot on their fucking plate.
Oh yeah. It's totally it's totally ridiculous.
Do you want to talk about causing division in people to have power over them? Holy shit, dude.
Well, this is the thing. The truth is, right, it's multiculturalism that's caused all this division, but they can't say that because it is a central tenet that like everyone can, like,
we're not
live
saying
together.
that anymore, but fucking the UK, you've shown it on stream the past couple of weeks, are still like proudly saying multiculturalism. It's like, do you still have a Ukraine flag in your fucking bio, dude? You're still saying that shit? You didn't get the fucking update yet?
Yeah.
But those people, self-described anti-racist movements, the broader left, have been conspicuously quiet on this. And I really would look for them to step up along with all the other players we've been talking about.
What do you think that would achieve were that to happen?
I think it would just create a mood and a sense. For one thing, it would help Jews in just their sense of feeling alone and feeling fearful, to feel they had the backs of those people who, yes, may disagree with them on plenty of political questions, but nevertheless, the sense that the society as a whole is saying, we do not tolerate this. And I think...
Listen, man, we got our own problems too. Like, I hate to point this out. We got stuff going on. Like, we
can always stack on more, okay? We can always... Hey, we're the West, man, right? Greatest countries in the world. We can just keep stacking it on, pile it on.
We got very serious problems, and everyone's fatigued. Like, fatigued.
You know, I found myself in the unusual
Hold
position
on, hold on. You think that's fatigue? Have you ever had to have Trump be president for a second term? Okay. And argue about what he's doing in another fucking country. Okay. Do you know what that's like? That's why I really wanted to do the juxtaposition of these two things to really put it in perspective for some of the American fellas.
I mean, for fuck's sake, we're literally living under a Fabian government, for Christ's sake. Like, oh, dude.
When you say a Fabian government, their fucking coat of arms is a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like,
yeah,
not hidden what they've been trying to do.
Yeah, we're about to get digital ID up in this bitch.
Oh,
right? And then it'll
Lord.
be like, it's fucking central bank digital currencies. Like, they're going to do it, right? Like, they're just, mate.
The opposition, Kemi Badenoch, when she said, if this were, and you don't want to get into a competition about different minorities, but if this was a string of attacks on black churches, and if in a black neighborhood of London, 2 people had been stabbed with a view to killing them, I do think there would be a sense this is a national emergency. And I don't.
If this was happening to black people, this is every fucking argument. Right? What about the other minorities?
It really is some of the most legendary whataboutisms.
Oh my God.
don't think it would only be Black Britons who would be saying it. I think everybody would be saying it. And yet, at the moment, it does feel that, apart from politicians, the main demand, if you like, or the main outcry comes from Jews and Jewish groups. And I think that's a missing piece. It would be, yes, solidarity, but also it would send a wider message that this is not tolerated or legitimate, including in the left, the far right, the British Muslim community. We need to have, as a society, a collective decision that this is just intolerable and will be cast out. And I'm not sure that statement is being made.
Tolerable. It's going to be cast out. What, are you going to deport the Somalians? Well, of course not, right? And I just want to contrast this, okay, with the way the grape gangs were handled.
Why do you think the grooming gang scandal was not investigated in the way that it should have been?
A major one, and we know this is documented by various different bodies and individuals in various different parts of the country, is people did not want to look further at a phenomenon that is, in large part, the particular phenomenon that we're talking about is groups of men, either from Pakistan usually or of Pakistani heritage, and sometimes more broadly, but Muslim, targeting, rounding up, torturing effectively, almost all girls and some boys who are almost all white, some Sikh, but broadly Muslim Pakistani men targeting white girls. And people didn't want to know. They didn't want to have the uncomfortable conversations that would flow from that. They didn't want to, the phrase that is often used in these documents, these cover-up documents, is inflame community tensions. They didn't want to be accused of being racist. And when you combine all of those factors, instead, they were complicit in a very large number.
Pause it, dude. I don't know if anyone knows this about me, but anyone who's talked to me privately and who's talking to me for the first time, I'll say to them, you don't have to preface it. You don't have to caveat it. You can just say it. This is fucking torture, dude. It makes me violent to have like, I know what you're really saying. No. Let me obfuscate it. No, but I know what you mean by what. Just hurry up and say it. Well, hold on. Let me make sure I cover.
Yeah, it's horrific, and this is the thing, right? The grape gangs are basically the white British Holly, but like for real, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And until this is addressed, like properly addressed, and the people who enabled this get very severe punishment, this is not going to go away, right? And the whites, generally speaking, are not going to have sympathy for anything that happens to any other group.
Oh, and honestly, if we're talking about reparations, probably people that are still alive, that were intentionally, as we know, ignored by the law enforcement and administration in charge.
Yeah, reparations would be like totally, totally justified.
One time.
Right? Like these people are still, this is not like ancient history, right? Like this shit actually.
But hold on. For reparations though, can you really show punitive damages though? Are you sure you can prove that in a court of law?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe more. Children being abandoned to the most appalling treatment really that one can conceive of.
Here is Ephraim Mervis, who is the UK's chief rabbi.
Wait, he's okay. So we have a czar, and they just have a chief rabbi. Is that like the same type?
I don't know if the US has a chief rabbi. Like probably. I'm not.
We have
sure.
Don't we have a czar?
Yeah, but that's an anti-Septicism czar. That's probably
what
not
is the difference?
Same thing. No, well, the chief rabbi is, I believe, sort of not exactly sure how they're chosen, but he would be regarded as like the most senior rabbi, and I presume basically you sort of get that position by displaying your erudition with knowing the Torah and being able to like dispute stuff,
Well, what does the chief rabbi do? An advisor. That's a guy that has influence and you listen to, or
I guess a spiritual leader, probably like helps the community with this and that,
I'm standing here in the middle of Golders Green Road on a Wednesday afternoon. Under regular circumstances, it would be dangerous for me to be standing here. There would be so much traffic, so much noise. This is a strip of land which would be pulsating with busy Jewish and general life outside so many popular stores, but it's all closed. And it's not Shabbat. It's because of a particularly sad event that took place here just a matter of hours ago when a terrorist stabbed 2 Jewish people for the sin of looking Jewish.
Again, you don't know that, right?
Like for the sin of looking. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. So you can look mooish. Am I allowed to say that? Can I say that? Look at this fucking guy. He looks like a moo. No, I can't say that. Okay. I know what the rules are.
So I'm sorry the volume on this is like really low. There's nothing.
You can just say what he's saying.
Yeah. When will it be? Well, today it's time for the silent majority of the UK to raise their voices again, right? Like this is the same thing they say over and over, right? We have been attacked. Where are the rest of you to back us up? Where the fuck were you? Right? When did you ever back us up? Like, you know,
so many good friends. We know that the vast majority of British society.
We know the vast majority of British society are decent people who are appalled by this sort of thing. We want to hear their voices. This is not a time for good people to keep silent. We would like the vocal support of every citizen of the UK to condemn this type of activity. An acknowledgement of the fact that an attack against the Moos is an attack against all of Britain, as opposed to attacks, right?
That's
now
the IW. That's the International Workers of the World. That's like their motto.
Let's have a look. Oh goodness me, Ephraim Mervis, helping refugees is an essential part of being Mooish. I'm sorry, is there something wrong with the refugees you ordered? Right, like you suddenly not like now that it's affecting you. This has been a dynamic for a while, honestly, right? Helping refugees is one of the 3 key pillars of the Chief Rabbi's Ben Azai program in partnership with World Jewish Relief.
Yeah, the the Industrial Workers of the World. An injury to one is an injury to all. And it's just going to get calmy and mooey. It's boring. I gotta leave Wikipedia. Wikipedia blocked on my computer.
So people are, and of course we've got Tommy Rubenstein popping a thick neck vein.
To the Jewish community, to the innocent Jews, we won't stand by, okay? Don't believe your hierarchy in your community who lie to you about who we are, okay? We're decent British people. We love everyone that wants to integrate and assimilate, as all Jews have pretty much into our country. All of
No, they bloody haven't. What the fuck are you talking about?
Infamous for not doing that. They're infamous for not assimilating.
They love Britain. They sing the national anthem in their bloody synagogues. They're loving people. They're not terrorists. They don't declare war on us. So make your choice.
Pause it. This is the mooish function of permitting Islam into the West. We can all agree on that, right? Because then it's like, well, we're not terrorists like them.
Yeah.
They always get to point a finger. Well, we're not as bad, which Nick Fuentes did call out, I think, a few weeks ago. He was like, I ain't taking my sights off the moos for fucking nobody.
So this is the kind of stuff that's going around as well. This is from the Times. Silence on anti-Semitism shames us as British Muslims. Listen to this. Britain's social contract depends on minorities defending each other's rights, not retreating into sectarian grievance. Oh, that's
what the fuck
that's
is
nice.
Sectarian grievance?
What about the social contract as it relates to the majority population? Who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit? Now the pushback has been quite interesting. This is the kind of stuff that you're seeing a lot on Twitter, right? Right now, these revolting people are targeting the Moos. Next, it will be the Christians and those of no faith. Don't say I didn't warn you. Now, this is a very Lindsayite take, obviously, right? The Moos are the canary in the coal mine, like blah, 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 blah. However, people aren't having it, right?
Yeah.
The Christians are getting blown up and great for decades. All we got in response was refugees welcome, more immigration, more immigration. I'm expected to extend a hand of sympathy that was never offered to me. And you are surprised that people don't care. Solid tweet from Lando. By the way, good Twitter follow. I would recommend.
Very nice.
Right? Cool story, Boomer. What F do you mean next? They've been targeting us for 20 years. He's like, I'm well aware of that. When I say next, perhaps I should have said their focus will shift once again back to the Christians.
Yeah. Black Lives Matter should have said Black Lives Matter too, right?
This comment section is a little more go fuck yourself than you thought it'd be, hey champ. Oh, mate, right? Like it is not right. It is not going well. Okay, there have been like so many attacks against Christians by this point. It's not working. It is not working at all.
18 cents a Christian. For just 18 cents a Christian.
For God's sake. This is the kind of stuff as well. It's going down. I think this is going to drive everyone towards phase 2. The just massive disparity in response.
And real quick, phase 1 and phase 2.
Yeah, so phase 1 is when you can't talk about it, right? Like, why are you talking about it? If you talk about it, you're a horrible person, blah, 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 exclude, cancel, destroy, make sure that no one has the conversation. Okay. Phase 2 is when people are forced to start having the conversation. The conversation is basically, have these people been good for us? Have they been good for our country? Right. You start, disputing, like, talking about history, all this kind of other stuff. Now, the problem is that as soon as like phase 2 gets into, they have to start defending the indefensible, because fundamentally their belief is that, the Moors are better than the Gentiles, right? This is not like really disputed to anyone seriously who studies anything about Judaism, right? They are chosen, or they chose to be chosen, or, whatever. They are like a special people. They have a special place, right? They are better than the Gentiles. And so when you have these people basically pushing for universal liberalism, the idea that the laws apply to everyone equally, well, they don't believe that, right? They've never believed that, right? And so you're going to wind up having to defend the indefensible. Once they start having to defend the indefensible, it goes down very, very, very quickly from there.
I'm joined now by Rabbi Doron Birnbaum. Thank you for joining us on GB News. Firstly, we'll get on to the Prime Minister and his visit here this afternoon. But I just want to ask you about when you first heard about this attack that took place yesterday. Where were you?
Sure, Will. I mean,
Yes, when you heard about the attack, where were you? It's like the shooting of JFK.
Oh,
or like 9/11.
my God.
Right? Where were you? Where were you when you first heard the news of a stabbing in London by a crazy Somalian?
Right, when they when JFK got his top peeled back, it was his skull, okay? When this Moo got his top peeled back, it was his kippa, okay? Not as dangerous, we can both agree.
It's so fucking crazy. Like a Somalian stabbed someone in London. It's like, it's every goddamn day. Like literally, where were you when you heard the news?
I've just come back as a rabbi and educator at Hasmonean High School, one of the big schools in the Jewish community. For the last 4 days, with 90 Jewish students in Poland, in places like Tarnów and Krakow, where you'd have a bustling Jewish community like what you can see around Golders Green. There is nothing left anymore. We visited mass graves of children. We visited camps in Majdanek, and yesterday, as we were in Auschwitz, the largest Jewish cemetery in the world, where 1.3 million of our brothers and sisters were murdered. I was in a barrack called the Latrines.
How many whites do you think have been murdered by mass immigration at this point?
Where were you when that white person was murdered by the black person?
Is anyone even counting? Like for real, right? Is anyone actually even taking account?
Where they used to supposedly allow the Jewish women to go to the toilet, if ever allowed. My phone pings. I get a message that 2 Jewish people have been stabbed in Golders Green minutes from my home. And out of respect, I step outside the barrack.
Yeah, so just to give you an idea, right? Minutes from my home, okay?
Oh boy.
I think it was the Eritrean civil war kicked off, right? And the 2 groups of Eritreans in that civil war, the Tigray and I forget the other thing, they had a mass machete battle in the middle of the street. Okay? Where is my fucking like sympathy, right? Like, oh my God, like, Jesus, fuck, it's just so over the top. Like,
wait, you think that's over the top, Fist? Well, try to picture something for a moment, okay? you want to think about something over the top. Imagine having to, I don't even know how to explain this to you. Try to conceptualize that Trump is your president, okay? Now, I know that's going to be catastrophic, all right? I can't even complain about Trump. I can't even I can't even think about what I'm supposed to complain about Trump when I hear this. This is the point that I'm making.
You're right. Of course. How selfish of me.
You've been laying this on thick for a good hour now. I'm like, I can't even. Trump's fine. I can't. It's hard for me to complain about.
Oh my god, it's basically parody. It sort of writes itself if you think about it.
And I'm in Auschwitz, and I want people to understand this, because sometimes in numbers we miss the personal narrative. Everyone's got a family WhatsApp group. As a Jew, I go onto my family WhatsApp group and I ask, "Are you okay? Are my family still alive?"
My family. Wait a minute. Well, how did it get to his family? Imagine that when that Ukrainian woman was stabbed on the bus. I'm like, oh, is my mom okay? It's all of us.
It's because they all live in Golders Green, because Golders Green is basically the ghetto, right? I mean, it's very nice. Like, don't get me wrong, right? But like, it is the Moorish Quarter. Yeah, let's do some soupies. Okay.
An absolute gauntlet over here. You really weren't kidding when you said you can keep going. I'm like, you sure you can keep going? You're like, I think I can do it.
Yeah, I can keep. I have stuff to say about this.
Fancy that.
King Spectre for $20.
Well,
thank you very much, mate.
There. I'm getting there.
Fist mentioning the Goth to Ortho pipeline has me feeling a bit called out. Only a bit though. I was an emo, so Goth adjacent, because tonight will be the night I will fall for you over again. Menlo Park, CA. Yeah, well, I used to be Goth as well, right? Like, it's a similar aesthetic, right? I don't mean that in a bad way. I just, look, I wish all the Goths would come to orthodoxy. It's a proper pipeline, right? It's got that like really sort of ornate, somber kind of thing. A lot of Goths have led very degenerate lives. Kat Von D became Orthodox. She got all her tattoos like covered up, and she's Orthodox now. So I feel
like goth is. I feel like emo is a slightly younger generation, because it was more emo in my day. It was still a goth vibe, but it expressed as emo.
Yeah. Lenny Grad for $5. Imagine if this nation of people had a state to look after them. Yeah, I mean, imagine. New GM for $5. Weird Fist, tell Ardy about John the Baptist, please. I don't know.
I feel weird about going. Because I feel weird about going to liturgy.
I'm sorry, Nuji. You'll have to elucidate. I don't know precisely what you're referring to, but I am in the middle of like stream mode, so it's hard for me to think.
Well, what John the Baptist? That was a guy that like wasn't Christian and then was or something, probably.
Yeah. Aaron mate just goes for $5. Hey guys, sorry I'm late to the stream. A rabbi hit me with a koi beam ray gun, and this is all I have left after my donation to Israel. Please give slop. For you,
came to the right
all
place.
Of the slop to give.
Sloppy.
Grace Slayer for $5. By the way, 10 years ago on this day, DSP tugged and finished his life on screen.
Do you know who DSP is?
Yeah, Darkside Phil.
Okay, terrific. So you do have some slop knowledge. That's good.
Solon the Lich for 100.
Give it to him.
Oh no, Kier, did you rush to demand expedited resolution and justice for an aggrieved party in search on Berthnell? No, wait. Thank you very much. And Isaac for $20.
There he is,
so much, mate. Sorry I'm late. Had a great day outside in the mountains and looked at the great man, and Tung gave me advice to save the white race. Moo, synergy, elves eat. I can't say that.
Okay. It's an elf. Elves eat babies. Okay. Yeah.
Flight back. Orange Man is a bear. We must save the real West, not newcomers. What did I miss? Deus Vault. Well, you missed like, yeah, it's horrible. Things in the UK are really horrible. It's
really
horrible.
Encouraging.
King Spectre for $10. Thank you very much, mate.
Nice, mate.
We all know that if the cuddle clubs went after Mooish girls, the borders would be closed and everyone responsible would be deported. But because it happened to white girls, yeah, and this is the thing, right? They were going after the Sikhs for a while, but because the Sikhs like band together, they like fought them off.
Hey, that's cheating.
Because
We can't do that.
yeah, well, they're allowed to have an ethnic identity, you see. So you know. And King Spectre for another $10. Holy crap!
Hell are you there?
This dichotomy was the core contention that caused the Danny Finkelstein versus Connor Tomlinson dust up a few months back and resulted in oh so many memes at Lord Baron Finkelstein's expense. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Spectre. And it still hasn't been resolved because they're still trying to do the phase 1 where everyone else has moved on to phase 2. Right. So Finkelstein and his ilk are just trying to say, no, you can't talk about it. Anyone talking about it, you know, is a bad person, like blah, 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 blah. But everyone is already having the conversation.
We're not censoring you. We just hope that, you know, you just don't mind that. Contact your employer, you know, give you the scarlet letter.
Yeah. And when they're trying to have the conversation, they just get completely BTFO'd because they don't have an answer to the question of why we are different, like why we are treated differently. Because if the Moos come out and say, well, we're better than you, it just sounds really bad. So they don't want to do that. Isaac for $5, thank you. I guess I'm teaching hydrographic to all people tonight on Discord. If you want to learn, we will fight back with images and memes. We must save the West. Tengu are demons. Thanks very much.
Oh wow. Tengu, I think is from Hello Listener.
Yeah. Arakin Green Moon, 450 knock. You've spoken about phase 2, but is there a phase 3 and 4? And if so, how many decades will phase 2 last? So phase 3 and 4 are basically pogrom and or expulsion. But no one wants to have that conversation for obvious reasons. So separation, animosity, and either pogrom or expulsion or restriction of rights of that community. But no one liberal is going to have that conversation, particularly in the
really
West,
a conversation that I mean, if you have to, there's certain things where if you have to have a conversation about it, it's too late. So like, like for example, if I was just randomly screaming as you were talking and you had to like tell me, you shouldn't have to tell me to stop doing that. There's certain things where, do you have to tell black people to not stab people? Yeah. If you have to have that conversation, I think we're past the point of civility.
The thing is, phase 3 will mark conclusively the end of the Liberal project, because it will, if you restrict the rights of this community, right, and say that, for example, they can't be MPs or, like restrict their rights, that will be the end of the Liberal project, because you will suddenly have a situation where not everyone gets the same rights. So the Liberals would sooner die than have that happen, obviously. So I don't know how long it will, I don't know how it will work out, but history would suggest that it is an inevitable sort of trend in that direction. Lenny Grad for $5. I heard it was actually 6 people hurt in Goldberg's Greenstein. Never forget again now. Actually, I heard it was 10. What I hear, some kind of racist. CSI for $5. Taquito Mulan would never have any negative consequences for anyone. Hakuna Matata, it means no worries for the rest of your days. Taquito Mulan. Oh, very nice. And new gem for $20 again. Fine, Fierce, leave it to the Protestant to pay to explain the Bible. Thank you, Nuji. I appreciate that.
Salt the wound.
John the Baptist lived in the wilderness, ate bugs and honey, and ranted about the corruption of the Pharisees. Christ went to him to be by him to be baptized. How does this relate to like Ardy not wanting to go to liturgy? I don't. Right.
I'm gonna wait until Christ comes to me. Okay, that's the lesson that I learned from this Protestant over here. Sometimes some of us can just wait, and then Christ comes to them. Right.
Right. So thanks, Nuji. I was aware of this story. I just wasn't sure of how you were trying to relate this to Ardy's reluctance to go to liturgy, but thank you.
Can we all agree those Protestants sure are creative?
Sorry?
Because I said, can we all agree that those Protestants sure are creative?
Yeah, look, man, I don't want to be angry at the proper Protestants, man. Like but it's enabled so much crazy stuff. Thank you so much again, Nuji. I appreciate that.
But you still like me, right?
Yeah, of course, mate. You're more Christian than like a lot of people, man. Like who
I know
profess
it's
to be
like
Christian.
bothering people that I'm not taking the step. That's really what it's starting to infuriate people.
Right. So let's just
Look
finish
at that
off
face. Look at. I can't tell. Do you think he's mooish at all? Look at that fucking. What is it? My Semitism. I think I banged it off the corner of the couch. Oh, it's
Right. Hang on.
agonizing.
New GM. The point is that being weird is not a good excuse to not go to church. Right. Okay. And well, he's right.
I mean, weird is a really general thing, you know.
Mate, or you just look at the saints, right? Tons of people more weird and degenerate with like crazier lives than you, right? Wound up going to church. Thank you, Nuji. Right. I understand the point you were trying to make now, right?
I know, but I'm like extra weird though.
Yeah, really.
I'm like special weird though.
Okay.
I'm like I would even say I'm possibly unique.
Well, I would kind of agree with you that, but you know, that doesn't mean you can't go to liturgy, mate.
Oh, I can. It's just terrifying. Actual. Is there a phobia? Is there a liturgic phobia that people have?
Yeah, it's called having demons. Don't worry about it.
I walked into it again. How many more of these rakes am I gonna step on?
Everyone's got them, man.
No, I don't.
I'm different. Yeah, sure, mate. Sure.
Videos from the community. I zoom in at the bodies, the legs, the clothes.
Wait. What bodies? Like they're both alive.
We're at home eating dinner right now.
Oh.
Be seen to try and identify is that my own family, and every single Jew in our community did that yesterday. I then have to take a group of 40 teenagers in Auschwitz, outside the gas chambers, sit them down.
For God's sake! I was actually in Auschwitz when I heard the news.
The bodies everywhere,
dude. This is not going to have the cachet that it used to have. I'm telling you.
Explain to them what's happened in their community, and say you might need to check on your parents just to see if they're okay. And people need to see the connection between these two things. There are Jewish communities that have been decimated and don't exist anymore. And one day, in 80 years' time, am I or my children going to take our grandchildren down the streets of Golders Green, Hendon, Edgware, Stamford Hill, any Jewish community in the UK, and they're going to say, look at that marking on the wall. There was once a Jew here.
At least you have a fucking community.
Yeah, there once was. Right. I don't know if you're gonna be saying it in the same tone that you're saying it. I'm sure Mustache Man went, you know what used to be there that ain't fucking there anymore?
What about the Cockneys? You know the Cockney, or you go nowhere like the Cockneys? They're all gone now. They have been like literally like killed off. There used to be like a whole Cockney section of London. Not anymore. It's fine. Yeah, you used to be Cockneys there.
Isn't that the dirty accent?
Yeah. Yes, that's right, Governor. Nice. Bit of a Cockney accent in it.
Yeah.
Because that's the way we're going. The conversations we're having around family tables are the same conversations they had in 1935, Will. And that's the place where, unfortunately, we heard the devastating news about this terrorist attack yesterday.
So
go home then. Go to your home. The one good thing that happened from World War II, right, is they have a home, right?
Yeah, man.
So why can't you fucking go home? Honestly,
Imagine having
a rude question to ask.
Imagine having to sit around like the family dinner table and like say, gee, are we safe here? Like maybe we should leave the country. Yeah, just imagine. Not like that's ever fucking happened to me.
Dude, it's like the Moo CEO of TMZ being like, I can't believe I'm having to sit here in front of a pro-white person on their private property asking them if they'll allow blacks and gays here. You traveled so far to go there and put yourself in that fucking situation. Leave, then go. But
don't worry, bro.
Can I be here?
Don't worry. The threat level has been increased to severe.
This
follows
spellcasting.
This follows a rising Islamist and extreme right-wing terrorist threat. What extreme right-wing terrorist threat? Like
Somalis, they're technically right-wing. This is what they do with Muzzies in our ADL and CSIS, whose cousin is JB Pritzker. That's the Pritzker family that owns the CSIS. These reports that come out, when they say right-wing, they include Muslims as well. So then because you know they're not progressive, which means they're right-wing, is how they categorize that, I assume.
No, because they do this all the time, right? They don't ever want to say it's just the Muzzies, despite the fact that it totally is. So they'll always say the Muzzies and the extreme right wing. Okay, but in truth, it's the Muzzies.
You fucking people call them fucking South Asians. That blew my fucking mind. You couldn't even say Middle Eastern. That's wild.
Yeah, because a lot of them are from India and Pakistan, and it's not technically the Middle East, really.
Oh, okay.
Right? It's
Right.
technically
And
India
we call the Indians
Asia.
Asians. That's who we mean by when we say Asian. That's what that word means. Okay.
The US Embassy has just issued a security alert urging Americans in the UK to exercise increased caution in public spaces, stating a terrorist attack is highly likely. Okay. I don't know whether this means like something's incoming or whether, you know, and the Met Police Commissioner has just called for a special police force to protect moose. They already have that. It's called the Shomrim. Now, I suspect what they mean is they want IDF, like proper IDF people on the ground in Golders Green, and they probably want the Shomrim to be able to carry guns.
What's next? They're going to say that
to.
the Muzzies are enacting their own laws. Yes, it's called Sharia law. They're already doing that. What other things are we going to act like are new that already exist?
Yeah. And just to give you an idea of like how this is likely to go, you will recall the Bondi attack. And what did they do? Did they put more restrictions on Muzzies? No, they use it to put more restriction on whites.
The old Bondi drop.
Australia will implement the 14 recommendations, not the 14 words, the 14 recommendations, right? But it turns out that 5 of them are classified. Secret laws. Awesome.
Commissioner Bell has found that our existing legal and regulatory frameworks did not hinder our agencies in preventing or responding to the Bondi attack, and that no urgent changes are required to keep Australians safe. But the Commissioner does make 14 recommendations which go to enhancing our national counter-terrorism.
14 recommendations and 88 points.
I mean, this is writing itself. This is they're forcing us to do this.
And capabilities. This is, as the government envisaged, that the first task of the Royal Commission, the priority was to look at the security elements of these issues. I can confirm that the National Security Committee has met this morning, and we have adopted and will implement all the recommendations of the interim report that are relevant to the Commonwealth. A number of the recommendations relate to state and territory jurisdictions, aimed at ensuring a nationally consistent approach to implementation, and we'll work constructively with state and territory governments on those issues. A small number of recommendations are classified because they could.
Okay, so listen, I'll explain all of this.
Yeah,
for you,
please.
Right. What this means is that there will be a new federal agency that basically does like hate crime investigations over all of Australia, superseding state governments, because Australia is sort of a bit like America, or was, right, where you had like the individual states basically, and you had a federal government over them, right? So they'll probably have like a flying hate speech squad. And I presume all the classified stuff will be about like wiretapping and all that kind of other stuff.
Better than a death butterfly.
Yeah. Awesome. Mate. Oh, God. So, okay. That's the end of my stash.
Sweet mother of God. Can I slop us up a little bit?
Yeah. You sure? Please slop us up. I'm tired, boss.
Dear Lord, did put in some good work. Fellas. Things are changing, okay? Times are changing. Now, this conversation, I like to show you guys this sometimes, where there's like a white guy that's like, hey, stop being racist to those white people. I'm going to stand up for them. He's like a milquetoast white guy, like a shit lib. This guy sounds like a Christian with 7 kids who just goes on like Omegle to shit on brown people by his own admission. This is incredible.
Are you gay?
No, I'm not a faggot. I'm married. I have 7 kids, 2 grandkids.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of married men usually are.
You know, I've seen it happen because you're not born gay. You become gay. Nobody likes to hear that.
You kind of give me a little, you know, have you ever tried it?
I like scented candles. That's as gay as I get.
That's pretty gay.
Yeah, it's
That's
up there.
pretty gay,
I know.
so, I don't know, you-
But you know, poopy AIDS hole. No.
So he's handling the antagonization, right? He understands this is a game of antagonization. What really helped me not spike my cortisol is realize that this is just a form of antagonization. And he seems to understand this very well because she's obviously clearly trying to antagonize him, but that's why he's here. He's like, listen, bitch, your life sucks. My life's great. Let's fucking go.
You could just wrap it up, you know?
If I have to treat my sexual partner's junk like raw chicken, I'm just not going to treat it.
Which is a banger Christian line. When you're talking to a degen, that's a banger fucking... I need more banger anti-degen Christian lines. This guy's fucking got him, dude. I've never heard that one. And his delivery as well is calm, complacent.
Okay.
Okay. What about a little dick suck?
No, again, married.
Yeah, but like, you know, for how you got 7
Have a
kids,
wife?
it's like shit happens.
There's one place in this whole universe these nuts can bust, okay? It's in my wife. Not on my wife, not next to my wife, not in a dude's hand. It's in my wife.
Like,
like usually when I hear Christians, they like clutch their pearls. They're like, oh, I can't believe you would say that. This is what I've been missing for years now. I never knew this was an option.
I can tell because you had 7 kids, but what if you brought a man into the bedroom? If you have a wife, what are you doing on Omegle?
I'm waiting on a boat. It's never on time anymore because we let women and faggots run stuff. Like to come here and talk shit to tiny brown people from all over the world. I didn't know the world was brown and 5'9". No one told me.
He is very done with what's going on in the world. This is literally how he just blows off steam. Oh, I need to find this guy. I would watch this guy all day long.
How tall are
I find it
you?
very interesting.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Oh, 6'2" and gay. Period. I love that for you.
You know what? You got it. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm gay. I love the cock. Big purple vein throbbing dick is all I think about.
Me too.
Perfect.
No,
got
me
it.
too.
Okay.
I just love that dick down your throat.
Oh gosh, that's too graphic. Please.
What?
I'm gonna go now.
No.
Learn how to cook. Go cook something.
No, I do
okay?
OnlyFans. I don't need to cook.
Oh, you better have some domestic skills and a personality by the time you're 30 and hope no one recognizes you, bitch. Women age like milk.
Do you see yourself?
Being honest,
You're aging like milk.
I'm 50. You will never look this good when you're fucking.
What does your wife look like?
She looks 50.
Yeah, so you're saying your wife looks like a fat pig too?
No, she's not fat at all. She's just not what she used to be, but I love her very much still because she's my wife. She's the only woman I would ever want. She's gorgeous to me.
I doubt that because you're on Omegle.
I'm not here for women. What are you here for? You're just projecting now.
Am I?
Yeah, I'm here trolling. I said that to you. What are you doing here?
You're 50 years old trolling on Omegle.
You don't get a lot of fans, do you?
No.
Brunette, itty bitty titty committee. You're just not doing so well on there, huh?
Don't embarrass me with itty bitty titties, babe. I got a big fucking rack, and everyone knows that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is how that guy passes the time. Oh, I love it. Also, this made me so happy in a way that I can't explain. Now, you're going to tell me, are you ready to see this black belt right now? This female black belt? Do you think you can do what she does, Fist, just by looking at her? Don't be misogynistic. Think about it. She's a black belt.
Probably. Like, what is that? Like,
you want to see what this is? You want to see what this is all about?
That looks like particle board with spaces between the layers.
Okay, I promise you, it's way fucking worse than you think.
Okay.
Yes. Power, baby. Axe kick board break to start off this creative breaking tournament routine. Up next is Isabella now with a headbutt board break. Yes. Good hit. Here in the breaking championships.
I've never heard of breaking something with your knee as like a martial art.
Like yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
This
yeah,
really? Just the breaking it with your knee? The fuck move was that?
I don't know.
No flashy kick or anything?
Is this Taekwondo?
No,
like,
this can't be.
This can't be TKD.
I had a black belt in Taekwondo when I was 8, just so you know.
Yeah, is it like Aikido or some kind of like really homosexual martial art, or like Wing Chun or something? Yeah.
Going for a knee strike. Yes. Excellent technique and power.
Thinks it's people.
We're so far representing Team Victory. Up next, a back.
Are you ready for this kick?
Leg round.
Now we are not starting. We're not starting off well. We're not really starting off. That doesn't look like it's
come on.
House kick, 3 boards. Here we go. Yes.
Now you might notice that the first tap right there actually cracked
3
the board.
It's
right there. Do you see how it's cracked now?
Oh my god.
Go. Yes.
They're pre-scored.
Having a great time here at the.
At the very
they're
least.
pre-scored. They're like they're like scored, and they've got gaps between them, so it's not like.
Tell me what this move is.
Southern Showdown.
You ever get into a fight
6
at the dinner table
boards
when you're the head of the house and you get really mad, so you gorilla slam? What is this move?
Double hammer fist. Here it goes. Good hit. Now coming up to break some concrete. We have 1 concrete.
I don't know what this is. I don't know what's real anymore. I feel like this shouldn't be real, but it is real.
No
slab going for a side kick, concrete break.
Let's go.
Here it goes. Measuring the distance and a little high.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the force on this kick to break this fucking concrete right now?
Try again. Here it goes. Yes.
Just a little fucking kitten paw.
Oh.
Excellent technique and power. Awesome performance. 1 final break. Here goes 3 concrete slabs.
Look at those setup elbows. Those are doing nothing. Really working on her form right there. She knows you practice it 3 times. And then you hit, okay?
What the fuck is this, dude?
I don't know, but it makes me so happy after you showing me what you showed me.
The forearm break. Yes, good hits. Power, baby.
It reminds me of Jim Carrey on In Living Color. All right, I'll spare you guys the Lauren Southern stuff because that'll take a little bit longer.
That's not how you do a Kia or whatever. Like I did fucking judo primarily and BJJ.
You kind of know how a body moving looks that generates.
Yeah. No. But none of the martial arts I've done did the yelling bit. You know what I mean? Like
maybe
even I know that's not
like when
how
you go
do
to
it.
do it. Not when you're setting up. That's meant to like you have a harder strike because you're letting out air and it's contracting your abdomen.
Right.
So,
right.
like,
You
that's
don't.
the point of it.
Right. You don't like yell like a Maori warrior before you do the strike. Right. Right. Okay.
And I'll close us off with this right now. Poor Caleb Hammer, who's like, he's in a weird position politically. He doesn't want to shit on the far left, like Papa Gut, which I did a video on, but he makes fun of the far left all the time. Very curious.
I apologize. You are male. You're gay. You're gay.
Legally.
You're male.
Gay.
Yeah.
Legally.
We're legally gay. You mean legally? You switched to male.
The gender, yeah. So I had a legal
That's guy.
name and gender marker change. This is before they had released.
Because
the
X wasn't an option?
Yeah,
What
X
the-
wasn't an
What do
option.
I call you? Do I call you X?
No. That would
Talk to X over there.
It would be like a non-binary thing. That's kind of the insinuation of X.
Okay, educate me because I'm just not educated.
Absolutely. So there's a difference between biological sex and then a gender.
Caleb Hammer actually stumbles upon something that I never considered. A very nice inconsistency, a nice contradiction.
So I mean, you're a chick. Biologically.
Sure.
Biologically.
I am female, so I'm AFAB, assigned female at birth. And then.
Well, no. I mean, you were born with a woman. Biologically.
It's not assigned female at birth. It would be assigned woman at birth, wouldn't it? If there's a difference between sex and gender.
I am so fucking sick of this bullshit, right? Like, I feel like this was like peak thought paralyzation and delusion.
Yeah. Guess what happens when we get Democrats back in office, motherfuckers? Guess what fucking how you think it goes away?
You can't even like tell the difference between a man and a woman without like 10 minutes of like weird thought explaining, right? It's like having like Windows 11 in your brain. Okay, and every thought you make is slow to like 5% because like all your memory is crufted up with all this like, oh, but then maybe it's this and maybe it's that. Shut up.
Well, right, but also assigned female at birth. Yeah, your sex can't change. Isn't that their big argument that they hinge on? That you can't change the sex and gender is different?
Because there's a difference. Because there's a difference. You said biologically and gender.
And yeah, so
biologically, I mean, you're a woman biologically.
Biologically, I'm a female. That is the more appropriate
Okay, female.
term.
Fine, fine. I mean, when you start saying female, all of a sudden people call you an incel.
Well, I mean, when you're speaking about gender, it's man and woman. But when you're speaking about sex, it's female and male.
Okay, so female, scientifically.
AFAB, yep.
AFAB?
AFAB, assigned female at birth. I am female, I am a woman, or I am male, or I am a man. It's I was assigned female at birth, but I now identify as such.
Wait,
and such.
I thought you said female was sex, but then gender, the thing that is what
Is
you're changing
woman.
and saying is in flux, is the other thing, which would be woman. So it wouldn't be assigned female, would it? It would be assigned woman, but officially female, scientifically, right?
No.
Using your logic, right?
No,
Right.
I legally changed it from the letter F, female, to an M, which is male.
Sex?
The sex on the driver's
Oh, so you can change.
She changed the sex. I love it. Oh, aren't you so glad, fellas, that those days are behind us for now? You don't think it's coming back?
The way they're like, oh, but I changed the letter on the piece of paper.
Spellcraft.
Therefore, like, what the like this is like peak childish like magic, right? Like, oh, I drew it on a, I'm a dinosaur now. I drew a dinosaur on a piece of paper. God, not fucking engaging with that shit anymore, man. I was like, wait, we got a couple more super chats before we go, mate.
Oh, sure.
Last remembrance, where were you when it happened, Rabbi? I was clipping coins, my guy. I was at the camps clipping coins. Isaac for $5, thank you, mate. Prots don't believe in saints. That prots are watered down Christians. Sorry, just look at their fruit. The Protestants don't believe in saints. Aw, mate, that's one of the best parts of Christianity is all the cool stories of the saints, in my opinion. King Spectre for $5. Happy Gilmore. That's your home. You're all too good for your home.
Dude, I'm really starting to get it, okay? I'm really starting to feel like that unironically.
Great profile pic once again. Spectre, thank you.
Incredible.
Lenny Gray for $5. What they're doing to her is worse than pretending Transformers are real. Dude. And King Spectre again for $5. The letter changing BS is vile moo magic, the same kind used to attack your credit score.
It is magical how they attack the credit score. I swear, they had to let us know how credit worked. I had to teach my dad how credit worked, by the way, because that knowledge was essentially very gate kept in to the normal mind. And then Credit Karma came out because they were like, nobody knows how this works. Everyone's fucking guessing, and we can't hand out any fucking loans, so we should let them know how it works. That's what I figured anyway. Anyways, fellas, Jake Rattlesnake did in fact comment on my Brian Shapiro video. The last time I sent you guys there, he thought we were both Australian because he heard Fist's voice. Okay. Now I need you to say that rhetorically Defective sent you to see if he can remember that I'm the guy that made the Brian Shapiro video when I send people over there. Now it's a good time to send people over there because he's got like 527 right now. So it would be a noticeable bump. And it would be visibility for the channel while the channel is bumping. So keep that in mind when I send you over there, fellas. It would be greatly appreciated.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. Thank you for everyone who super chatted. I hope you all have a great weekend. We will be back on Tuesday. History on Monday. More of the story from Rabbi Yodel Rosenberg about the golem. This time we get to see what happens to the evil father Thaddeus when he tries to frame the saintly Maharal. For the thing. Let's talk about it.
Right.
If you haven't watched it, check out my video with Stormy Waters. It's pretty good. And there's an episode of Clan-Based Lifeform for you there. Thanks very much, fellas. We'll see you soon.
I tear.
This goes out to all the fellas. This is my house, you double beef back, puffy little piglet. I'm a black guy. This is how black guys sound. Let me show you how we run this. Ardy and Fist, Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we're both on a list. Ardy and Fist, Ardy and Fist. You can be sure that we make the moose piss. Streaming through history, uncovering mysteries as to why the whites are living in misery. We keep the audience salivating as we continue navigating through centuries of adventures of the ever-evolving small hat wizardry. Ardy and Fist, Ardy and Fist. Let us show you what you might have missed. Yeah. What? That's how we do it. Other things black guys say. Okay, now for some things black guys don't say. Nice weather we're having, so you mind if I don't rob you? Hi, Dad. Black guys never say that shit. Buttery kipper. I'm definitely a black guy. I feel drunk with power right now. We put in the oven in covenant, and it looks like we're live, fella.